That worked.
Well, for better or worse, we're live.
You got us, Aaron?
Grumpy?
It's a story of a guy named Jesse who hails from the land of white squirrels. With him, Ethan and Alejandro, and CT in curls. It's a story of a ranger's baby where he must wrangle 5 other second sons. There were Saint, Syd, Buzz, and Aaron, and Chris all arguing together at the top of their lungs. Till one time, when both cast record, on Wednesday it became the most fateful day in May. It was decided both would cross over. That's the way they all became dumpster trash fire. Dumpster trash fire. Dumpster trash fire.
All
That's the way
right.
dumpster trash fire.
I love
Jesse, did
it.
you just purr? Jesse, you literally
right.
just purred.
I purred?
You purred at the sound of Grot's singing voice.
It made me so happy.
Oh, snappy.
Hey guys, congratulations! You're now the worst Game of Thrones podcast.
All right. Hello, everyone. As always, I'm Roy Rogers, formerly of New York City Meta, currently of the Philadelphia Meta. Welcome to the 10th episode of the 3rd season of Second Sons, which also happens to be, according to Ethan, the 22nd episode of Wars to Come. Yes, we are doing probably the most ill-fated experiment in Game of Thrones podcast history. Fully crossing over, not having guests from both podcasts, but fully crossing over Second Sons with our illegitimate cousin, The Wars to Come. Joining me today is my favorite Wars to Come co-host, Alejandro. How you doing, Alejandro?
Oh, I'm doing beautiful. How are you, Roy?
It was very nice seeing you at Kubla this
pleasure.
weekend. Another
Thank
person
you.
I saw at Kubla this past weekend was CT. How you doing, CT?
Fuck you, Roy.
And that lovely laugh, the man who fills everyone's heart day in and day out, founder of the Wars to Come. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm always doing good, brother.
All right. And we are joined by the latest attempt at the great podcast host search for the Wars to Come to replace the ill-fated Alex, I will die with a card design black. Congratulations on your win. We'll get to that in a second.
Absolutely. I'm doing well. I'm glad to be on here. Love this community.
So now we'll also do my fellow podcast host time, the Second Sons. Aaron Glazer doesn't get to talk during this segment. The North American. How are you today?
Doing great.
Great. Sandy, best friends with Justin Timberlake Barnabas. How are you?
I'm great.
Place of Buzz Aldrin is too busy getting drunk with British people to get rolled at Euros. Is Ethan. How are you doing today, Ethan?
Great. Now that all this is set up and going.
Good. All right. You sound a little stressed. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'll be fine. All right. So we had probably one of the biggest weekends in Thrones last week with not one, not two, but 3 large tournaments. So, gentlemen, where do we want to start first?
I mean,
Wait,
chronologically, right? It has to be Harrenhal.
Who was
Harrenhal?
anyone here at Harrenhal?
No.
No.
Nope.
This first player same day, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yep.
could quickly dispatch with Harrenhal, which was won by
Brandon Zimmer.
Brandon Zimmer, right? Yeah, playing Greyjoy, right?
Yep.
Greyjoy
Greyjoy
Wars.
Wars.
Greyjoy Wars. This is the big storyline I'm going to push here. Is this was probably the most honest weekend in Thrones that we probably have had in a year. It feels like where 3
I hate
relatively
it.
honest decks, major tournaments, and we'll get to. We have one winner on. Well, 2 winners technically.
So what we're gonna say is CT is going the way of Alex Black if this shit keeps up.
Can I take a quick question?
No,
How many
I'm
tournaments?
actually really
did-
happy with these results. It was 3 different houses too, so it's pretty cool.
How many tournaments did Jake Platt play in this weekend? Because that might correlate with how honest this weekend was.
Didn't he play in Harrenhal this weekend?
He did
maybe,
not.
I don't know.
You
Oh,
know,
he had to make
only Bohan, who was the king of Swiss, who played Klansman, played at Harrenhal, and then Nick
Redact.
Hansen. They were the
So what
only.
you're
They were
saying-
the only
so what you're
Wausau
saying
guys.
is Harrenhal was competitively hollow.
No, I am not.
That's what Jesse said. We all heard it. He said Klansman wasn't
Was
being
he
a Swiss,
running
so-
2 building orders? Was he running 2 building orders?
I only think he was running one.
What? I don't know how that
Competitively
happened.
hollow.
There's no way this deck can win with just building orders.
It's the Rookery. The Rookery, man.
They were the Rookery format. Oh, okay. Okay. I
Is
didn't
no
know.
one running King Plot?
I mean, no wonder it
I'm
was
pretty
Alright.
sure Zimmer
one of the
was.
most boring deck in the game.
Ethan,
It was
mute
Rookery.
yourself.
Holy shit.
that was-
Jesse's mean to somebody.
Don't talk shit about Klansmen. No, I'm not sure what I'm not sure the exact deck Bohan was running. We talked about it playing WoW last night, but he's supposed to send it to me today. But it was still Red Door Tower of the Hand. So he still had to reveal here's the most impressive thing is he still had to reveal his HRD location before Rookery, which is something that I think is bullshit to begin with. But
Wait,
he still
this
played
tournament
well.
was a Rookery tournament? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Harrenhal was
Oh,
Rookery.
Oh, okay.
He beat Brandon Zimmer round 1, and then he lost to him in the cut. So,
Go
but yeah,
Zimmer,
props to
Broncos
Zimmer.
for life.
It's kind of a bummer that you can't put
Oh, wait, Rage
you
Wars.
can't put red door locations in your Rookery.
Yeah, that is super bummer. I mean, I hate the format to begin with, but I think that makes it 10 times worse.
Does anyone still
So-
like that format?
We cannot talk about the Rookery format. People have complained.
Is that
Move
banned?
on.
Because you guys have been talking too much about it.
It's banned.
I've
Move
bitched
on.
about it a whole lot.
I really
Alright.
enjoyed that episode where you guys all went to town on the Rookery format. It was quite enjoyable. Because I was like, I felt the vindication flowing through me.
Yeah. Roy's
So-
been right.
Well,
Because-
I mean, they're all wrong. That's fine.
and that's how
a
you
game-
know it's right. Sandy.
A
Mr.
game
No
that has a
Restricted
sideboard should be designed originally
my
with the
God.
sideboard. Like,
I'm still split. I don't hate it.
game
I
that-
don't love
so-
it.
the
A
sideboard.
game that has a restricted list should be designed originally with a restricted list.
It was designed with the restricted list in mind.
It was designed with the Rookery.
It was
Well,
not.
Wait, we
You
stumbled
know
on
that's
2
not-
banned subjects in our mutual cast. Restricted list on Second Son. So it really is a crossover here.
Right
So
against
I am
the
going
ban thing.
to we're gonna make a sharp right turn and talk about a tournament we attended, but we are again gonna prop Brandon Zimmer, who used to listen to Second Sons. I don't know if he still does, but congratulations, Brandon. And,
Ex-listener Brandon Zimmer.
First player, run by friend of the show, father of podcasts, Will Lenz, his tournament. How was the experience? We have 2 people, right, that attended this on the
Yep.
cast. So
Absolutely.
how was sexy Springfield?
Croth, you can go first.
Springfield was actually way more enjoyable than I thought it was. So definitely I'll prop Nationals.
Did they have 2 horses there?
Actually, I did pass an Amish with 2 horses. So
And
they did.
Amish.
Yeah, one Amish was on the right lane on the highway going 65, so it was pretty enjoyable.
Look, Springfield is great, Aaron. Portchester is also a shithole.
It is great. That's what I'm saying. Springfield is great.
My
Please, if
my
you go
return
to
shit
National
talking was
Few
interrupted by
Bullets,
motorcycle.
So I love the place. Great karaoke bar. Good places to eat. The store. Both me and Jesse recommended. Like the store is very nice.
Yep.
And then there's a barbecue place like literally 10 feet away that was pretty fire.
Did they
Yeah,
run
Metagames
the
is sweet.
tournament
I've been there for a
with a
couple things, and it's great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did they what, Roy?
run the tournament with a computer, unlike the last major tournament that Metagames had?
Well,
Yeah.
Daryl was there, like Jesse talked about, and Daryl was amazing. So
Okay.
he did an amazing job.
Good.
The dude studied, and he had his own playbook and everything about rules.
Daryl studied?
He used to be a good player in 1.0.
That's not true.
Those were the days.
So it was actually really cool because Daryl said he hadn't played in so long. And Daryl actually had like a lot of the FAQs brought up, like a lot of the weird rulings, like to go forward you must go back, and cold hands, and like all this different stuff. And it was really awesome. Like
What is that ruling?
With
To
the
go
on-
weird
forward,
ruling
let's
with
go back.
cold hands?
No, to go forward.
shuffle it in the deck.
That is currently what Colin. the new Alexander Hines has said is the current
Yeah.
way you should run
What
it.
is
Can we not defame Colin like that? My goodness.
I love Colin.
I love Colin too, but Alex was the first. Well, I guess K-Tom, the new K-Tom. Would that be better?
Yes.
all K-Tom does is post on various Facebook things, making interesting points now about how much he hates
Now,
the
yeah.
presidency. Yeah.
Will's trying to
Oh.
get him to come to nationals. He's trying to
I
get
mean,
him-
He was
He was
the judge. He was the head judge for Iowa Worlds last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he was.
Wait. So, do you have to have 2 cards to play to go forward?
No.
No.
no, just one. It's
This one.
Itself, yes.
A Game of Thrones, everybody.
We talked about this at KublaCon, Chris.
So, before we get off on that tangent, I do want to just really prop Will Lentz for putting on an unbelievable event. Kristen Lentz for being the best host I've ever had. She
I'm telling
literally,
Aaron Jones. That's it. I'm telling her. I'm calling her right now.
but I didn't stay with Aaron Jones. I stayed with the Lentzes. Kristen literally stayed up the night before and baked us cookies for the drive
Sounds
home.
interesting.
Like it was unreal. It was really, really cool. And like Kyle Vansel kept opening like these $200 bottles of like barrel aged beers I'd never had, and I was like, I just want to curl up in these things. Like they're amazing.
There was moonshine, so one of their friends made moonshine and stuff like that. It was pretty good.
But no, the event really ran really smooth. It was so cool for me personally, like coming in like through 2.0, and I had never really interacted with a lot of the southern Midwest guys. So I really got to meet a lot of the Tulsa guys and like the Springfield guys. Yeah, they were all like unreal. Like they were like I really fell in love. Like enough that like I'm trying hard to go to the Tulsa
You
regional
missed
this
the
weekend.
best Tulsa guy too.
Who's that?
Kaiser.
Kaiser Chris. Yeah,
No
he's-
question. Kaiser's the best
Oh,
in Tulsa.
nice.
We love
I'll-
Tulsa, but
Chris
Kaiser.
Kaiser, who competed in the drinking Olympics at Gen Con with me.
Yes, and
That
the
is
one
a
that almost
cookie.
killed Steve Simone.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
God. Hey, did you meet Mr. Fleabottom, Gregory Sean Atkinson?
So here's the thing. So the
No.
only complaint I have about the whole weekend is that
Oh.
like because I had never met these guys, and like I'm a big fan of like if you have a card design, I want you to sign it. Like I'm a big like historian of the game in that sense. So I was in the same room on Friday night with Greg and Brett, and I didn't know who they were. And then Will did not tell me until after they left.
That's why you had such a good time. Don't stress it.
Brett Zeiler?
We were literally talking to him one-on-one, and we had
Yeah,
no clue.
I had several conversations with this guy. I didn't realize because I asked, "Oh, do you guys play Thrones?" And they're like, "No." I thought they were just like random fucking friends of Will Lentz. I was like,
They
Yeah.
are
"God
kind of
damn
just
it."
random fucking friends of Will Lentz now. So
Yes, I was so bummed afterwards. I was like, "Oh, cool." I met like 2 former champions that I didn't know. I would have like, oh god.
No, former champion was the other guy. That was what's Zumain.
Zooming, yeah.
I
he was,
wonder if we're ever getting that card
Magic
back.
player. He's a Magic player now, right? Or his
Yes, he is.
He's a Magic player.
Zumain's a
yeah,
man.
he and his kid play, right? I saw like an article about that, right?
I posted that article. Yes.
Yes.
I can't remember where I find things on Facebook, Chris. All right. So can we talk about? All right, we talked about the social experience, right?
Yep.
So let's move on to the joust event itself. So, let's start with we'll do white book style. Worst finishing person who went there currently. So Jesse, how was your day? What did you think of the meta and at first player?
So I was scared of combo going in, so I just wanted to play something that was fun, which like Roy Glazer we had talked about, and it was Barra. I wanted to play a control deck, and it ended up turning out pretty well for me. I only lost to Night's Watch Wolf, which we knew going into it. It was a bad matchup for me. And he saw 2 Ramses, 2 Mutinies, 2 Wards, and he had a 3rd Ramsey in hand and 2 Frosos. Like it was just like he crushed me. But I did well. Went 4-1 in the cut. I crushed my top 4 match. And top 4, I played Groth, and Groth was playing a Martel Wars to Come deck. I scooped him. We thought that was the better deck, and I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that deck win a tournament, so That was my ultimate decision. I thought that
Well-
was the better deck, and I really wanted to.
Hey Jesse, did you run into much Tyrell?
I saw none.
Targ and Tyrell went at each other all day. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I've played
which-
that deck a fair amount. Now. I
which-
cannot beat Tyrell with it.
Which ended up which ended up being better off in the overall tournament, Targaryen or Tyrell in at first player?
Targ ended up. What I saw towards the end of the day, Targ was a couple Targs were up there.
So Greyjoy
We had the
ran
opposite experience except for Alejandro with
Yeah,
So-
Greyjoy did really well.
I think I did so well because Greyjoy was so prevalent in the tournament, and my deck just crushes Greyjoy. I mean, to the point where like, literally in a game, I'm not kidding. I mentioned this earlier to the cast where I just like, I like baited Valor, and they had like Asha, Euron, and Balon out. I Celeste on a Withering Cold turn, and I just dropped Stannis' Cavalry with 7 gold on it. If you're wondering how I paid for that, I definitely ran a 3x Iron Bank deck with double favors. So it still had the Jesse spice to it. It was literally the same deck that Handsome played at Kubla and did really well with. He literally just misplayed and didn't make top 4, so he played top 8. But yeah, I had a really good experience. Groff needs to talk about his experience. He won the tournament. He played that Greyjoy match. You need to talk about. That was literally the best Thrones I think I've ever seen. I mean, like, the guy misplayed, but still, like, you were dead to rights. Like, oh god.
What?
Yeah.
Chug.
Choke.
Chug.
So like Jesse said, I think the meta wise, it was Targ, Tyrell, Greyjoy, and then the few Barra and the few Martell there. One Night's Watch, I think, maybe two. Two Night's
There were
Watch.
2 Night's Watch. Yep.
Oh,
Because they
Night's
played
Watch.
each other. There
I
was a
think
time.
Kristen played Lanny, so maybe that was the only Lanny.
No, Krista played Greyjoy.
Was
She
it
always plays
Grey-
Greyjoy.
Okay,
She's
so
a Greyjoy
Greyjoy
player.
Okay.
No, there was a guy who played
Greyjoy.
Landing Crossing. He just didn't. It didn't work out for him.
I think everyone represented in faction wise, and then
Yep.
the meta there, it wasn't what we were talking about. It wasn't too inbred, where it wasn't just these guys just playing their decks and just, hey, we'll take this to the tournament. It was actually really good decks there, and people playing them very well. So stuff you would see on Iron Throne or Thrones DB, that stuff does well. So that was the meta there. I ran into one Targ all day. That was the first game. And then the rest of the time was Greyjoy, Baratheon, and then I have like one Martell and one Stark. That was about all I ran into. We felt really good. We've been working on this deck for at least a month and a half. And so we felt really, really good with most of all matchups, but some of the worst would be Targ, of course, Tyrell Rush, and then Baratheon if, Sleep just comes down and kills you on the turn, you can win. that just sucks right there. So went through undefeated. The Greyjoy match, I'll talk about it real quick. The guy had me dead to rights. I was sitting there looking at the whole Greyjoy family, Triss, Littlefinger, and fucking Newt the Barber. That's how bad it was going. That Newt came down. So I was in there with Chud Knight 1 and 2. I got Viper out and I got Ricasso. And Viper has Dawn. And I'm like, the turn he plays his Valor, I'm like, I should Riddle. And I was like, nah, he's not gonna play his Valor. He's owning it. It's like 10-2. So I was like, I'm gonna breaking ties. I'm gonna Starfall Cavalry his Triss out because he took away my Dorn's game. I'm gonna try to win on that turn.
I was so upset you didn't Riddle. I was like so bummed you didn't Riddle.
Continue.
I had in my hand all cute with it. So next thing you know, Valor comes down and I'm like, well, fuck me. You really wanted to kill that Viper with Dawn, I guess. So that was like it. But next thing I know, he's like, Iron Mines, Risen from the Sea Asha, Risen from the Sea Balon, saved Dupe, Vic or whatever. And then the Iron Mines fucking Newt the Barber. And I was
Over
like,
Triss.
Holy crap. I'm
Over
back.
Triss. And
Yeah.
Triss had already pulled a Dorn's game.
Took
Triss
my
had
win
already
condition.
pulled Dorn's game. So like I'm sitting there with Matt Clemens, we're watching him, and
What
I
you're
turn
saying
around
is
and Matt
that wait. What you're saying is this is definitely by no means under any circumstances anything close to the best Thrones you've ever seen. Got it. Just making sure
Well,
that we're
here's the
all fucking clear on that. That's a
Here's the
narrow,
thing.
dirty dozen. Fuck up. That's not.
Here's the thing. The
Deep
only
cut.
reason
Old school comment
only
there,
reason
I
I'll
like it.
say only reason I'll say it was the best I've ever seen is because like Groff should have given up like 2 turns before this. He's getting crushed where most people would just be like, yeah, it's over, scoop, and like he doesn't. Like, he plays it out and he plays defensively. He plays like very intelligently, and then this guy saves Newt over Triss. I turn around. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I turn
guy?
around to Matt Clemens and I'm like, this guy fucked up.
The only thing I think of is he thought he had 10 power. He's like, I'm winning this turn. And if it
Yeah.
wasn't for a fucking milk the poppy on Balon, he would have won probably that turn. But I was lucky all day. Thank God Chris made me put milks back in. I drew 3 milks, 4 different games, and milked everybody. Like, people were getting pissed at me. Like, literally visibly pissed at me. Like, I fucking hate you that you drawn these milks. I was like, dude, I'm drawing 15 cards in 2 turns with Secret Schemes. Like, what do you think?
Turns out one cost blanket guy still good.
So wait,
Still
who the
good.
fuck? Who did you beat?
Robert Mixer. He's a guy
That
from
was-
Quincy.
Great
Oh,
choice.
yeah.
Mixer.
From the gem of the Gem City.
Yep.
Gem of the Gen Z.
Is that what they call him?
That's what we called him at Iowa Worlds. Do you not remember this?
I do
think
not.
Mixer?
I do remember that.
He's actually a nice guy.
All the
Yeah.
guys at Iowa Worlds were really
I mean,
nice.
he's
So.
at the gem, so he has to be.
He has to be.
I think his
So-
new name is Triss Notley.
So, Aaron, who did you end up beating in the cut? What was not the cut, excuse me, in the finals? What was your final game?
Final game was against a guy from St. Louis. He played Baratheon Filthy, and I played him earlier in the Swiss. So that, unfortunately, again, Milks came in, so he never really got to trigger anything. I would say Tommy against Stark Filthy was the hardest in the matchups that I had to play. Of course, Jesse scoops, so that helped a lot. And then Jesse's fashion, he beats me in the practice game, so that worked out great. Still undefeated on that one.
Are you saying that the Midwest has a problem with scooping to each other? Is this a
There is.
I think
I thought
Jesse
that never
Carpenter
happened.
has a problem with
our
scooping.
It's
about
true.
is
No, I mean, it's clearly wasn't a
Jesse's the only person I've ever talked to who I go, oh, Jesse, I'm so sorry that you had such a bad day at this tournament where it's loss. And Jesse he's like, I won every game.
so he can play worse people with worse records. It's a trick.
It's a trick. So
That's
You know.
fine.
the
I don't
moral
care.
victories. Well, we have a huge cast, and only 3 people on this cast care about this format. So we're going to sadly have to sort of speed through Jesse's win the next day. So how did Melee go?
We're talking
on
about Melee?
Sunday?
What the fuck?
Ethan, mute him.
It went really well. I'm not going to talk too
all
much
all
on
our
it
viewers are
because there's
SoCal. They don't care. The whole
because
chat is
there's
SoCal.
Isn't there
there's a couple people playing
idea.
my deck at Euros, so I'm not gonna go too far into it. But I went undefeated on the day. Both my decks were super heavy bestow decks. It was kind of my au revoir to bestow because people say it's bad. I thought it was good, so I went undefeated in Swiss. I won my top 4 game, my top 8 game, or my final game. And you can ask Groff; he watched almost every game. I had to play my ass off because after the second round, everyone was like, "Yeah, fuck this guy. We know what's going on.
Yep.
seven power and marshalling. Fuck him, right?" So it was
That Tolly host. That
it was
5
gross. It was gross. So
7-power marshalling. So you brought combo to Melee.
I did not, sir. I brought just old Tully Rush with some bestow. But no, it was good.
Kelly Rust with some stuff.
No, it was good. I really had to play my ass off in the final table, and yeah, I did well. So another Melee win. So just preparing for Gen Con Melee now. That's the only thing that's important in my future.
Only thing. All right, so that. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Did
Okay,
you say you
so-
drop out of the cut for Gen Con just to play Melee?
People think that's a joke. They think that's a running joke, but absolutely,
He would.
it's my favorite. It's my favorite
Jesse,
format.
If you do
My
that at
favorite form-
Melee, If you do that at Melee, you're kicked off every podcast tomorrow.
Luckily,
You're
he
not allowed to
owns
be at-
this one, so he.
Yeah.
Nope,
Also,
he's gone.
I will come do a podcast with you about Melee, Jesse.
Yeah,
I do
thank
one with
you.
you too. I do one.
Where's
With
my?
Of Gen
That's my-
Con
We should just-
Melee final table here on this cast right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just
This
do
is
an
true.
episode. We should just do a Melee episode with the four of us. Or
It's
plus
my
Will.
favorite.
Wait, we already did that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite format. I would absolutely, if I make the cut in Gen Con Joust, which like I'm not saying there's a chance, but like I play okay sometimes. I can make it. But I'll drop for sure for Melee. Absolutely.
The whole SoCal chat is just freaking out.
Are they?
Yeah, this sounds pretty great. to me.
That's fine.
So we should probably move on to the third and final the headliner tournament, the longest running tournament in Game of Thrones history in North America, KublaCon. So Chris, I think you've attended the most KublaCons of anyone here, right? Or is Alejandro up there?
I'm
was
pretty
my
sure I
fourth.
got Alejandro.
Yeah. He's got me
Alejandro.
back to you for sure.
Chris
Okay.
Shodho has a lifetime pass.
He does, but I wouldn't put it past Chris. I've seen his
Yes,
collection.
I've been
All
going
right.
for like 12 years now. It's absurd.
All right. So how was KublaCon this year, Schoenthal?
Aside from the card game or whatever that we were doing on Sunday, KublaCon was a really great time. I got to see a lot of friends from out of town. I got to see Roy and Sandy and CT and Alejandro, who's from out of town, but not from out of that town. So he's a local. Yeah, it was as great a time as it always is, getting to hang out with everybody, and yeah, had fun.
Did you play Melee?
I might as well have.
There's no Melee. You did win 3 packs of Dominaria though, didn't you?
I did crush a Dominaria draft on Friday, and then did not crush Syd's draft on Saturday, and then got crushed on Sunday because I did not assemble my combo.
Has a Melee in an official capacity ever occurred in California?
Yes, there was one after the regional last year when they were doing the 2-day events.
Yeah, in San Diego.
Oops.
Who did the?
I'm so
Roy, did you
disappointed
do
in San
better
Diego.
than me, right? At
I-
Kubla?
I did do better than you at Kubla, yes.
You went 4-2.
I did.
Who else went 3-3? CT? No, you did well.
CT and I had the
CT was in the cut.
You were 5-1, right? CT going into the cut, but you and I both
Yeah.
lost on top 16.
Yeah.
So I guess am I next in my Kubla recap?
You would be next in your Kubla recap.
So Chris's recap is just I didn't draw Danny. Done.
Yeah, I played 4 games of Thrones, and in 0 of those games did I draw Dany and enough money to play her. So, the end.
So I'll start with the social aspect. I played a game of Agricola, which I have played before, but like forgot. That was fun. I got pretty drunk. It was pretty fun. I think I made some bets
I can
regarding.
confirm that point.
I made some bets regarding my relationship with Justin Timberlake.
Yes. So we should probably tell this story in the middle of Sandy's thing. So while the cut was the top 4 was going on, Sandy was at that point very drunk. And he had his traditional credit card problems, all these things had all been sorted out though. And he was yelling at CT and I, and he suddenly got on this fixation that he and Dark Naj, Jonathan Andrews, were best friends with Justin Timberlake, and they were going to hang out with him in Atlanta this upcoming weekend. And Orlando,
Florida.
Orlando. And I, as a skeptical, relatively sober human being at that point, did not believe him, and still do not believe him. And I made a bet with Sandy, which is that if he and Dark Naj have a picture with Justin Timberlake, they both have to be in the picture, and it has to be an actual Justin Timberlake. I have trained graphic designers on demand who will look at this.
There
and
also
look for
has to be a clear Orlando landmark in the back.
Correct. Orlando land. It has to be
By the
clearly
way.
in
There's
Orlando.
no Orlando landmarks. We're gonna do this inside, like
Okay,
human
that's fine.
beings.
You could say what's the stadium in Orlando, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't know, even if we did it.
I can look it up.
The point is, it can't be shopped.
It can't be shopped.
won't
That's the
be
whole
shopped.
point there.
It won't be
All
shot.
right. I will give up both. I will permanently, for the rest of the time I have a Facebook account, give up my cover photo to this picture of Sandy and Dark Naj. And until my bachelor party, it will be my Facebook cover photo. Or not cover photo, excuse me, profile picture will be the three of them: handsome Justice Timberlake, Jonathan Andrews, and Avery Brooks. So all three of them together will be all there. So CT, what did you promise to give up if Sandy lives the Timberlake dream?
Sandy likes to ride my ass about never winning tournaments because I play Martell too much, and basically he goaded me into betting that like if Sandy can win this bet, I will never play Martell at a competitive event again.
Oh god.
So the stakes are pretty high. The
So
stakes-
there are real stakes on the line here.
So CT will quit Thrones.
So right, so here's the loopholes
There's the
are
way of
I
the
quit
alley.
the game and then I start playing again, and Roy deletes his Facebook account and creates a new one. So we're fine.
I am a man of my word. It will be there. I would love every time I put up my Facebook account to see this handsome picture of Jonathan Andrews, Justin Timberlake,
Sure.
and Avery Brooks all together in one thing.
I
But-
wish I could find the picture of me getting drunk with Dan Harmon or me and Andy Dick. Like I feel like all these
Neither of those have
Are
dark knowledge.
Justin
though.
Timberlake. Dan Harmon is a raging alcoholic who literally, if you were near a bar in LA, you could with Dan Harmon. All right, like
Let's be
this
fair.
is not an accomplishment.
Anyway.
All right, continue
Accurate.
your story then, Sandy.
So also, we played some card game on Sunday. We played some bullshit card game on Saturday where I got paired against the world draft champion in a bullshit draft.
That was a bullshit draft.
But
And Sid's not here to defend it. So
There was
I
another draft.
I played a Stark deck that I had never seen before that Roy brought for me.
This is Sunday.
it's-
You mean Sunday now?
Yeah, this is on Sunday. Yeah, no one cares about CCG draft. Like, there's no strategy there. It was like who can draft the most broken cards, and that the answer to that is Kevin Shannon. So,
But then he gets wrecked by others' plots because he doesn't know they exist, which is kind of
That's really sad.
so I played a Stark 7 deck, which actually was like I lost my first 2 games because I had no idea what the cards did, and I was trying to read them and figure out the combos. And then I started winning. I did knock Matt out of the tournament. I played 3 Greyjoy decks. I didn't even know there were 3 Greyjoy decks at the tournament. I played like all of them. It was super fun. I think Jerry Crane's deck is pretty solid even without Rookery, because that's essentially what I played, and all my changes just made it worse.
Did you put in the new attachment? Because his win was before that came out.
He did put in the new attachment, 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think that
doesn't make it worse. I think that's better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Having more 7s is just objectively better. Like
Right, but you can't treat
Making
them as economy cards, because like against Nick Hansen, who was playing some Barra Bestow deck that everybody else on this cast made.
Sandy, you're never beating Nick Hansen in a tournament game. You should just come to terms with that.
I
I think I'm
Also,
not either, for the record.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
2 versus Hansen in tournament games.
I don't believe it.
making Rob Stark the 7 is very good, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. You know what you can't do is rely on that as your economy when your opponent is playing Neil.
Well,
Sure.
you should have played Neil.
But I hear though with Rob Stark that
Idiot.
if you sacrifice a Stark character or kill one, you can stand all your guys. Like I think that's like the whole thing about that card though. Like I'm not sure though. I haven't played
You
Stark
have
in a
to
long
read
time.
the card to know that.
If only there
Sandy was playing King Rob.
sacrifice
Hold
on
on,
the-
I
I
can-
think
I
I
can
think
get
the real
deck.
problem
The deck
is
is right here.
unless,
Let me see if he's playing Breaking Ties.
unless your name is Jesse. Sorry, excuse me. Unless your name is
Important.
Samrots, you're not allowed to play Stark and
The
SoCal.
top plot of Sandy's deck is this one right here. There's Handsome
Yeah.
Louise right there. Okay. Just
Anyway, it was a pretty good. I think 3-3 is slightly. I mean, that's about what I expected to go. I was hoping for 4-2. Couldn't quite pull it out. It's fine. Let's go to the real players at that tournament. Now that we're
Well, there's a
zone.
story you're missing here concerning Sandy and another Justin. It was great. So on Sunday, we were at the karaoke, and Michelle, Justin Smith and Michelle Smith, they're married. Michelle walks in looking a little bit distraught, and she walks up to the group and she goes, "I think Sandy's going to make out with my husband."
Wouldn't put that past Sandy.
And no one.
No,
was
not at all. Not even a little bit.
It was great.
That's beautiful.
She seemed fine with it.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would do.
All right. So I finished worse than CT in overall record, so I will go next. I had a
You
very
finished worse than CT.
I went 4-2 in the Swiss. And
You're
CT
fired
went
too.
5-1. So, but we both got kind of hard rolled in the top 16. So,
Fact.
it balances out. One quick thing to note: Syd ran it as a Wama style / Stolic style cut, so it was X and 2s made it or did a playoff, and actually both of the people that were at the final table played to win. So they were in the top 32 and they had to play win and in games. So that was kind of one of the more interesting storylines I think of the tournament. So anyway, I played Tyrell Wars to Come, which I was originally going to play Tyrell Summer, but then Aaron and Scott Levine, my White Book co-host, changed like 9 cards and we're like, you need more plots, and they were like, you need to put these plots in the deck. So that's what I did, and it was a pretty good day.
Get worse?
No, it got better. Except I did make one change. You guys went down to 2 high tower, right? The strength pump girl, in favor of the multiple challenges girl. Strength pump girl much better in the current meta than the multiple challenges girl.
It's not true. I only have
It is because
I only have one of the multiple challenges girl.
That girl, that
look at the
part
deck.
won me 3 out of the 4 games I won that day, including one against Alejandro. So I was very happy to be running 3 of them in my deck.
Alejandro?
I
All right,
did.
you're
You rolled me.
Round 2.
By the way,
Yeah,
that's,
that's not a fun game to watch.
One of the most crushing Targ turns. I was very demoralized, but then I drew very well and he did not draw very well. So it was that
do
good.
you know what's important about that? That was game 2 of our podcast matchup, and we're up 2-0.
God damn it.
Besides my
Motherfucker.
intentionally,
Got him.
3 high towers by.
We're not even paired up.
Right in front of me.
the standouts for me, besides unintentionally, what's the term I'm looking for? Tilting. There we go, Alejandro.
With
With
shitting the bed, but
while we were playing. Besides that, the other one was I got rolled by Ryan Jones. Well, not rolled. It was actually a pretty good game against Ryan Jones, but he beat me. I also got beat by Tom Malucci, who once again crushed my dreams of doing well at a tournament that I traveled to, which is one of Tom, like CT's, favorite things to do when I'm traveling. But I was really happy to go 4-2 and make the cut at particularly Kubla, but much less the California tournament, which I've never really done well at one before. So I was very proud of myself. But the other weird moment was I was playing in my win and in game in Swiss against, let me look up my name real quick, against Shelby Anderson. And we were both, it was a Tyrell mirror, which is literally currently my least favorite thing to play in the game, and he caught me off guard. I valored and he confiscated, which got rid of my bodyguard and my Marjorie, and he had his Marjorie out, and we're resolving the board state, and he says trigger Marge. I go okay. I move the characters into my dead pile. We move into draw and then marshalling. I marshal, he marshals, and then he asks me. He goes, oh shit, I forgot to go for my Marge trigger. Which he did. When I looked at the board, I was like, oh, wait, yes, you should have at least one more Lord here, but you don't, because you didn't. And he's like, can I go for the Marge? Can I go for the Marge trigger now? And I was torn, because it was winning in. I was hearing Aaron in my head yelling, like, no, don't do it, don't let him through. And but I was saying to myself, no, you should just let him do it. It was an honest mistake. He was really obsessed with making sure that he had his Renly on top so he could Lord Renly's ride with Renly and all this kind of stuff. And so what I ended up doing was calling Syd over. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to have the judge call the judge over. The judge said, we're 2 phases too late. You were just going to.
So you took the punk's way out because you knew what Syd would say.
I knew what Syd would say.
You're the worst.
And I
would anyone here have, besides Jesse, because Jesse sucks, would anyone here have let him do that 2 phases later?
Nope.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Probably not at Kubla.
No.
Probably not at ever.
Yeah, look, like in a casual game, go for it, bro.
Wait,
Like-
it was 2 phases. It was in draw.
End of his marshalling. I was going first. He made me first because I valored.
Oh, so I
marshaled.
would have done it in draw. I would not have done it in marshalling. 'Cause you
Yeah, I
have
would
you-
have definitely done it in draw.
Yeah, well,
And he was the second player, right?
Yeah.
So he's seen all your marshalling.
Correct.
yeah, there's just
Yeah,
no,
no,
chance.
hell
There's,
no.
there's
There's no way
abs-
you can reconcile that. There's no way.
No, and that's
Right.
what they decided. We're just going to treat it like you searched your deck and found nothing, and shuffle your deck, and we're good. And so
In
that
the
was a
C-
highlight that rolled by Tom. But Tyrell is awesome.
One interesting ruling in the CCG draft, we had ended the game and shuffled our cards in and realized that the last play was illegal.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
And then we were like, I guess we flip a coin. So at least you didn't have to do that.
No, that's true. That was good. It was a really amazing tournament, amazing social experience. Probably, it was really just a fun to hang out at CT and just sort of have and the random Californians who kept floating in and out of our table, or randomly drunk Sandy. It was just a really fun, really fun time. And I will be going to Kubla again next year. It's basically been settled that we're gonna.
So I don't know if I should be more insulted by being a random Californian or not being included at all.
Oh, man, you had the things to do. You were coming in and it was random. Jones was there. The Smiths came in and out. It was just a
Really,
random.
still everyone but you, Sean Paul. He's just gonna list more people that aren't you. It's gonna make it
Sid
better.
was there.
Sid came at the very end, very drunk Sid. That was fun. But
And
Sid
you guys
ran a
got
great
to be
tournament.
brothers in a picture.
So let's kick it to CT. How was your day?
All right, so I also played the exact same Martel Wars deck that Groff played to less success. So like he said, we kind of been working on the deck for a while. Obviously, I like Martel and I like the wars to come. So that was
Got him. Got him.
who'd have thought that for like 6 weeks I just played that and kept tweaking it. So actually,
So
the
on
genesis,
nose.
the genesis for the deck came out of the Crasters event. I literally was just like pouring through the deck lists, and I was like, which one of these Martel decks did I like the best? And I compared it to mine.
Never go to CT's tournaments. This is why he hosts them, so he can steal your Martel decks. Like Holt is in the chat, like sitting there going, "Motherfucker."
So I'm looking at Colt's list, and I'm like, this is shit. Core Red Viper, Doran's Game, Ricasso bullshit. This seems ridiculous. And so I kind of started to talk to him about the deck, and I made like 20 changes to where I liked it. And then him and I just kind of like butted heads about it for a couple weeks, and like we kept playing it, and it was just like really fun to play. So it's a fair deck, but it sort of plays like a combo deck because
Is it a fair
you'll
deck?
have 0 power, and then you'll have
Comparatively.
15 power. But like
No
your opponent,
no flea
your opponent's
bottom.
keeps coming.
Thank you,
Um,
Shunthal.
No flea
Comparatively.
bottom. No flea
No
bottom.
flea bottom.
Yeah,
I got a
it's
compliment
fair
on
deck.
that actually. He's like, I'm glad to see a Martel without a flea bottom.
Right.
I
Then
know.
you joined gamed him, and then he was like, oh.
It is so much less honest than your normal Martel control. It's ridiculous.
It is no
He still has
because
to
you're,
win challenges.
you're
I-
not
I've
sneaking
played
up on your
different
opponent.
numbers.
When
Okay,
you put
I've got
Ricasso down and you put gold on him, and then
2 words.
you put like
Two
Dawn
words.
on a House Dane
words.
escort,
2
your
whole
opponent
words.
knows what you're going
2
for.
whole words. Ready? Plot. Cancel.
Yep.
Plot cancel
it.
is just a perk that came along a week before the tournament.
Horse shit.
Yeah.
That is not just a. That is not just a perk.
Yeah. It's what makes. the
Someone
deck
always tells is a busted fucking card.
Oh
They
yeah.
just shit things out, and they're like, "Oh, I
I-
can hold
okay,
back. I'm
someone-
gonna
I saw
reset
zero.
later." You're like,
I saw
"No, you're
0,
fucking-"
someone always tells.
Someone was about
Really?
to hate on Spice me, and I was like, sorry, man, you can't win this game.
So just to like run through my games quickly. First round I played Fred. He was playing Night's Watch Wolf. I canceled several of his plots.
Including a
so he
trade
was-
routes on a riddle turn.
He was not thrilled. Round 2, I played against Andres, who actually was also playing the same deck, only he was like more of a Knights version than like a Viper version. I actually lost that game. His deck was just more efficient.
Which version is better?
I'm not sure. I think they both have their strengths. His deck was definitely much more catered to beat Targ.
Really, I've
Where
never lost to Targ with it. Targ does not like not being able to reset the board when you have 18 giant. Oh, I changed the deck. Never mind.
So it's running Andras's and the other Brotherhood adjacent guy. They were running 2 of the anti-targ night plots. So like on the key turn, you get the renown, which gets around the king plot too, and gets around targ, so they can't drag and do all that nonsense to you. So
Wait, how does it get around King Plot? I'm confused.
because it creates renown rather
Still
than
get
like
renown.
triggered effects, you still get the renown.
You don't
If
have
you
to
win the
tr-
challenge,
no,
you can still
you still
Doran's
get-
game.
You still get.
You don't need
still
any
Doran's
triggers. You don't need any tricks. You
Yeah.
just go all the
I
knights.
feel like
Don't
it's
need any
getting
triggers
around
for
the
Doran's
King
game.
Plot per se.
It's
Yeah.
I think it is because it doesn't
Yeah, it's not.
require any tricks. It
King's
doesn't
Plot
Normally,
Viper loses the
Right,
king plot.
right. No, it doesn't. That deck, like, the deck straight up doesn't care about King's Plot.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Like,
it's actually
doesn't.
even my version's pretty good against.
Yeah,
King Plot.
it doesn't
Like,
care about King's Plot. At
I
all.
think that's what Roy was trying to say though. Is it King Plot's not going to shut down? Normally, Martell is done for a
Yeah,
whole
but
turn.
he's saying that like it doesn't shut down. That King's Plot doesn't shut down the night version, but does shut down your
Oh.
version, and it does not shut down your version under.
Yeah,
any
our version no.
circumstances.
Our version doesn't care.
yeah. This is the reason I like this deck so much was because King Plot was bothering me so much
Yeah.
before.
Gotcha.
King Plot.
I'd say our
That's
build was catered a little more towards being able to deal with mace decks. So we had like a higher curve. We had Arianes, we had the Milks, and things like that. Whereas
No
there's just
Shadow
kind of a
Black
rush
Lane.
deck.
We didn't do Shadow Black Lane. We did more.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure that they played Secret Schemes. I think they just really doubled down on Shadow Black Lane. I could be wrong. He didn't play Secret Schemes against me. We went like 6 plots.
That's
So,
a thing
not-
to do, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm not
Secret
entirely
schemes on Plot 2, and that's basically a second counting coppers is pretty fucking good.
right. So game 4, I played Robert Brown. He was playing Builders, and we went to time, and I would not have won that game if I did not do a 55 strength intrigue challenge. Hit the Red Viper, and I just barely got my 15th power.
Damn, the game seems balanced. 55 strength entry challenges. That seems great.
But he blocked for 45 with like 3 builders. Like,
Yeah, dude, it seems really balanced. I love it.
I mean,
Being
the problem,
super optimistic
none of
at the
this
beginning
is
of this
the problem. The
podcast,
deck,
Jesse.
wait. Time out. Like, real thought, though. The deck isn't a problem without Plot Cancel. Because it doesn't have, it doesn't see all its dupes all the time. It's got a lot of things that are vulnerable that, like, if you just reset them, they're fairly vulnerable.
You
Like,
mean
it's a really good deck, right?
you mean canceling the one thing that I personally have control of that you can't touch
Yeah.
is a problem? No
Yeah.
shit.
Someone
Oh my god.
always tells is
so
the worst part of the game.
I will eventually get to
Don't
why
play-
I think this deck is so strong in this meta. Let me get
Wait,
there.
hang on. What did you say, Sandy?
I said we're not talking about Hand's Judgment being the problem card. I lost track.
Someone
You're
always
saying
tells is
cancel
better
thing
than
that I've already paid the cost for. Because that's
Sandy, do you think someone always tells the problem in the meta or no?
no. I think you guys should be better at this game. to be honest.
There we go. I was waiting for it.
There we go. All right.
Here,
All right, we're
okay,
gonna-
okay.
Took us only an hour and 4 minutes to get into it.
All
right, we're gonna let
So here's
Sandy
the
finish.
question I put. No.
Hang on, let Jesse go. Let Jesse go.
All right. No, I'm seriously curious. So, Sandy, why do you think that someone always tells us balanced and it's not a problem?
So
I really am curious.
I actually have only one problem with any event, and that event is not someone always tells. That event is the Crow's a Tricksy Bird. I think you guys are like Crow's a Tricksy Bird is way more of a problem than someone always tells.
I agree with you,
I don't.
but I
agree
think
at
both
all.
of them are. I think that
I
both
think
of them
are
are problems.
problematic. I think both are problems, and someone always tells is way worse.
I think someone always tells is easier.
I think someone always tells is not only easier, it like the second use for it.
I think we always.
you can
I
draw-
think we-
It's not a
draw
dead
Trixie
card when you
too
get
late
later
for it to
when it's
matter.
Trixie.
You
Yeah.
can
I
cancel.
think the issue is that Hand's Judgment is restricted, which makes that's the reason I like
Is
the deck
it?
because because I think if anybody wants to play any restricted card, I know my Doran's games are safe. I know my pumps are safe. Like access to Hand's Judgment isn't not being able to play it with another restricted card is not fair when Martell gets its own cancel card.
You know how I know the restricted list is like a real thing and like it's not a piece of shit and not worthless is that like I ever even consider it when I'm building decks. Oh wait, I don't because it is a huge piece of shit. Like I never
Hey,
even
there was a-
think about it.
Hey,
There was a lot of guys that like.
run plots
hey.
with only passive effects.
I agree.
There's a
with
lot of
you.
guys who were like, I can't believe it was that easy for you to pull it off. So there were
Yeah.
a lot of shockers. And then also I canceled a lot of Hands Judgments when they were going to cancel my Dorn's game with it too. So
I did forget that Hand's Judgment was restricted. I forgot this game had a restricted list. That may change my.
So
Oh,
I think the
good. I'm
Doran's
glad that
game
fixed
deck
it.
is once you know what it's doing, it's a little less like roll your face. But like particularly this weekend, there are a lot of people who weren't necessarily ready for it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I'll be
Like, I don't-
excited to get
No,
into
you're
this
absolutely
next.
right, Roy.
I'm excited
Yeah,
to get
you're-
into this next, like after we get through Alejandro and stuff. Like, I'm actually kind of curious how much we think this is going to be at Euros. So we can wait on that.
Yeah.
But I'm actually curious about this.
We're,
honestly.
can we do that? I want to let Chris finish and let Alejandro
Yes,
take
yes,
his victory
absolutely.
lap. And then we have a couple of
Absolutely.
announcements. Then we'll do Euros and we'll do
You
Aaron's
mean he's
segment.
like third
Almost
place
victory lap.
So I
You
had to
don't
play
take a
against.
victory lap
Talk
with the
about Barber.
top four. Come on.
So I had to play against Stark Winter, and this had my favorite play of the weekend. People
Oh,
do
yeah.
not
That play is
read.
Spanish.
People do not read what Ario Hota does.
Which Ario Hota?
The new one, the one that people don't read. So
And an increased claim.
yeah. So I've got 4 plots. I have a Ricasa with 2 gold on him. He's playing this really aggro-y Stark Winter deck. He attacks in for military. I ambush Hota for free. He reads the card 3 times. I block. I trigger Hota. He's just like, oh, that's bad. He's like,
Power
well,
challenge.
yeah, no. He's like, that's bad. I guess I should probably definitely not do the power challenge, but at least I can squeak this 1 strength intrigue challenge through. I'm like, yeah, sure. Ambush Hota. Prince's plan. Block. Trigger. Re-ambush Hota for free. Do 3 claim challenges. So like, cause like when that box came out, I was just like, someday this area Hota is gonna dream crush somebody, and I am going to love this Hota for the rest of my life. So
He is a good.
Beautiful.
It dream
He's-
crushed Tommy.
run-
You got
do
me
you
to
run
win
wa-
against Tommy.
Do you run 1 or 2?
I run 1 of it.
Yeah, I really want to, and I can't justify it.
Yeah,
Like,
the deck
see-
started with 2, and I went down to 1.
Yeah, one.
But like, oh, he's just so good, and he's like a free ambush for breaking ties too. It's just like so stupid.
Well, I may have cut that.
Then I
Alright.
played. I actually cut mine right after Kubla as well.
Yeah, I
only-
don't think it's necessary.
Nope.
That's right.
Um,
That's my spot for meddling, because like I don't want to have to worry about initiative all the time.
for sure.
For sure.
So like, yeah. So I went 5-1. Then my next game was me and Schoenthal and Nick Hansen versus overpriced California beer prices.
I don't know
Show
who won
up.
that one.
Schoenthal won.
Oh, that's true. My drink
I
was
lost my credit card at Kubla. Do you guys remember that?
You didn't did you lose the credit card or did you just get the
lose it.
hold put on it?
No, I had a hold put on it. I used another credit card and I left that one at the bar. It was just a shit show.
Well, it was definitely a shit show.
It was just a shit show, you piece of shit. The Sandy Barnabas story.
CT, any sort of parting thoughts before we throw it to the most successful member of this cast at KubaCon?
Yes, when you get your top 16 game, don't draw an opening hand that is Knight of the Sun, Dorn, 5 events, then mulligan back into Knight of the Sun, Dorn, 5 events when your opponent runs Nothing Burns Like the Cold. So you have to waste your first plot to cancel their plot so that you don't lose your Dorn to Nothing Burns Like the Cold.
I may have dropped Dorn too.
Ugh,
What?
blasphemy.
Greyjoys?
All of them?
Greyjoys? Yeah, I don't run Dorn. Greyjoys are coming.
what a
I just don't
weirdo.
want to be hit by it.
Aaron, yeah, well, anyway.
I do believe that Alsep lost his top 16 game because Euron stole his Dorn first.
Yeah,
turn.
it's just too swingy. Like in a real meta like that, it wasn't luck based. If they had to get the unopposed through and like if it wasn't just like I pillaged random bullshit and now I win the game, like
right.
it
Sure.
happens all the goddamn time.
All right.
So, parting thoughts? Nah. We said most of it, I guess.
I think this deck
Alright.
is good.
Kubla was cool. Would do again. Definitely gonna go again next year. First one, it was fun. Had a good time.
Alejandro?
What
Hello,
Targ deck
hello.
did you play?
I did. I played Targ. I almost didn't. I was gonna play Tyrell until like Friday night when I got drunk and let somebody else pick my deck for me.
Who
I
picked
sent
you?
him. I sent him my Bear deck on Thursday, and he did not respond.
Definitely no sold it. Yeah.
So like Alejandro and I talk about decks every day. I know it's real bad when Alejandro just no sells me. It's like, hey, this piece of shit here.
Who had faith in your deck from the moment that you told me?
Roy Rogers. Roy motherfucking Rogers.
Well, obviously Nick as well, right?
Yeah, no, so I posted a deck. I posted a deck and I'm like, it's a first player deck, and Roy's like, this looks like a Jesse deck. And I was like, I'm in, boys. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Alejandro. You did really well.
No worries. Yeah, so I played Targ Wars to Come. Outside of the tournament, fucking Kubla's amazing. Like everybody needs to come out. It's great. Like I probably got way too drunk this year, like way too many times. but that's that's Kubla. The tournament was very well run. I went 5-1 in Swiss. I lost to Roy.
Did you play Danny?
I did. I played Danny a few times.
Interesting choice. Yeah, all right.
It worked out pretty well for me.
What did she do?
Danny did not work out for you in my game, in our game.
Which Danny?
No.
The 7-drop, obviously.
No, get the fuck out.
So, but wait, the Facebook group told me the 7-drop was great.
It did not.
Do you know how many jokes about that Facebook group discussion happened at KublaCon? There's like 9 of them.
Yeah,
we were watching these decks. We were like, oh man, the Facebook group was totally right. The Facebook Danny's the best card. Anyway, go ahead.
She's great. Let's see. Do I have any interesting games? I just got crushed by Roy. That was a heartbreaker.
I mean, and you let your podcast down in the process.
I had to play.
I definitely don't want everyone to hear the phrase "I got crushed by Roy" from you again.
I
had to play against a lot of friends, but that's kind of Kubla, right? Like, it's a lot of friends. I went 5-1 in the Swiss. Yeah, 5-1 in the Swiss, and then top 16 and top 8. I played back-to-back mirrors, which was terrible. Including one to Angela where we had a card for card mirror. It was terrible. And then I was on my way to top 4. I was feeling good until right before we started the round. We all looked around and said, "Oh, hey, you guys are the 3 that played your winning in game in round 7." I'm like the only one that didn't play the extra game. I'm fucked. And then I immediately got fucking rolled. Like, I haven't felt like I was gonna lose a game since round 1, like in a year and a half. Like back when pre-Valor, like I just round 1, I knew I was done.
What about your game with Jess at Jesse's birthday? Sore spot.
That one went pretty far. I don't know.
Oh, was it? I thought that was like turn 2. She was just like.
I'm pretty sure it was turn 4.
It was like plot 5.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5.
Jess exaggerates.
Maybe Jess felt like she won that early.
Jess must be picking up my exaggerations for her.
No, I think it was like plot 2 was a blowout plot, but it lasted till 5.
Oh, okay.
No, like I could have. Okay, so I don't know if we need to talk about Jesse's tournament, but I could have won until
never again. Never again.
Jesus.
So the moral of the story is everyone in their cut game got absolutely crushed,
except for Alejandro until the top 4.
Yeah.
Right. But his elimination game, he got just done dirty.
So congratulations to John Barber, who will be representing America, because I think we don't have any other Road to Stolic events in the U.S., right? Unless
wait, hang on. What did John Barber play? Can we go through the?
So John Barber, since I didn't get to talk very much in my segment because I played like garbage that day, I'll talk for John Barber because he's great. John Barber came down to San Diego Thursday night before Kubla to get some testing in. With a delightful little Stark number that he had put together. And I was kind of messing around and stuff, not really sure on where I was going with decks. And he wanted to get some games in. So I said, sure, someone hand me something. So Kevin Shannon handed me his Lannister Crossing deck that was the only deck that was 60 cards and 7 plots at the time that wasn't like a pile of extra cards or was a Wars to Come deck with 3 plots missing or something. And I wrecked him 2 games in a row, like not close. and including one game where I spiked him 3 times in the first 2 plots for 3 characters, with Tyrion's Chain, and so he was like,
So why is plot cancel bad? I don't want to get heads on spikes 3 times in a game.
So that was
Plot cancel your heads on spikes. You're gonna plot cancel Valar. You're gonna flip your trade routes when they flip Valar, and not when they flip heads on spikes.
Not at all true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you can
Anyway.
call someone to flip heads on spikes, maybe you deserve to win.
That's
I think you could probably
Christ,
tell him.
Sandy.
that they're
Have
gonna
you ever
flip
have you actually played Someone Always Tells yet? Because it sounds very much like the answer is no.
I played against.
I agree with Glazer. In any case, so we go to Kubla and we have a good time Friday playing some board games, and then Saturday we do the draft and then play some more board games. And I'm still not sure at all what I'm playing, and Kevin's not sure what he's playing, and we're going back and forth at.
I'm trying to change
1
this.
a.m. Jesse's trying to text me about this dot deck.
Jesse's being Jesse.
So
How
Barbara
far did you do with Barrow?
finds Kevin and I in the middle of the lobby because he needs to get back a Catelyn that Kevin had warded from him on Thursday and accidentally kept. So Barber sidles up to us and watches us play a little bit and then says, "Hey, Kevin, are you playing that Lannister deck you played on that Chris played on Thursday?" He's like, "No, that's not really on our radar as something to play." He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Can I borrow it?" And so he just grabbed the deck at like 1 a.m. and then went out and wrecked the tournament the next day.
Nice.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Congratulations to Barber.
Somebody needs to tell the story about how he beat Nick. Like,
So,
Okay.
long story
Oh,
short,
God
Nick
damn.
had, as he likes to say, he had the win on the table if he was down to 2 cards in his hand, which I believe were both characters.
yes,
Right.
he could have
No.
marshaled them both.
He could have marshaled them both, and if he had just marshaled them both, he just wins. There's no he's
He
knelt
wins off
out
dominance,
John's
I'm pretty sure.
board. There's nothing really that can go on that could really damage him, except if he gets the heads on spikes double trigger with Cersei nonsense. If you just play your 2 characters, can't happen, right? No cards in hand, no heads on spikes, right? Well, he doesn't play those 2 cards, and John plays Tyrion, stealths the intrigue icon, gets the Tyrion's chain, gets the power from heads on spikes, and gets the power from Cersei to win.
Got him.
Got him.
God damn it.
At one point in the night, Nick Hansen just got up from the table, didn't say a word, walked away, and I didn't see him the rest of the week.
Yeah, he was sitting at that table for
I took
over half of the next round, just staring at with the board state fully intact. It was rough.
Well,
That's all
apparently-
I was after my game against Jess at Jesse's event.
Apparently, all of Wausau gave him a lot of shit, except for Sam Bratz, who was very kind, sent a sad cat to him. So that's what you need to know about Wausau. It's
As
Sam,
a-
sweetheart. The rest of them are terrible.
I in the
I
same
like kids'
chat.
response.
In the same
What did
chat.
kids say?
Kid shamed the fuck out of him.
Yeah, saves him.
I in the same chat. Whether he played my deck or not, I was like, I'm super sorry, Hanson. You had a great run. Like I felt
Kid.
super bad. Kid was like, fucking worthless.
He's like, you went all
Poor
that
Nick.
way just to embarrass us.
Yeah. Poor Nick. Almost took down 2 big West Coast tournaments back to back.
Yeah, because he has positive matchups going. Against the Greyjoy deck and against what was the other? Who did the Greyjoy player play in the top 4? I think I have it open.
Dietrich played Luch, right?
No, he
no.
played Griffin.
Dietrich played Alejandro in the top 4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he had pretty good matchups going in, right?
Mhm.
So no matter who won that round, so
I
he
agree.
just not screwed it up.
I'd have
Okay,
went anyway.
So congratulations to Barber. Congratulations to Syd for running an amazing tournament. California is going to be repping Team America this year at Stalik, even though less overall Californians are going, but more Midwesterners. So it's an opposite story where Jess repped America and there were more Californians last year. Now more Midwesterners are going and a Californian is repping Team America. So there's trading back and forth. Someday the East Coast will get in on this business. But before we...
Can I?
Go ahead, Sandy.
I have some shout outs from Kubla.
Sure.
Props to Stephen Ebry for beating me in shots for plots.
Did he beat you? Did he
The
beat
play!
you?
The play! The win or die play! Tell the story, for God's sakes. Please.
Sandy, you lost shots for plots? No way.
Well, did you table at the bar
So,
after
when you
like
flip,
3 hours? So,
when you flip, you win or you die. You have 0 reserve, and then you also play. You also play to go forward. You must go back.
You're
And shuffle, get back up to 5 cards.
you're
And then
bad.
discard down to 0 cards.
That was pretty
When
good.
Sandy's hand is a book, one book, and
It's
you
one-
give Sandy a new hand so that you can discard yours. Pro play.
Wow.
That was pretty good. Also, props to Amazon Prime now. They got to do a little.
Ethan, you mute the self promotion there. Mute him.
I'll
No,
edit it
no.
in post.
This was a real thing. We needed hooks to hang the Kubla banner. We ordered them from Prime Now, and also ordered 27 bananas and some beef jerky.
Eat one of those bananas.
10 p.m. It was amazing. I felt like I was living in the future.
Hell yeah.
27.
And, oh, yes, of course. We never actually used the hooks.
So,
Yeah, that was just.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
put tape on the
tape.
windows instead. It was awful.
so I'm gonna put the kibosh on our Kubla discussion. But before we move to Euros, we have 2 things that we need to talk about. First, I have an announcement to make about Thrones Toberfest, which is happening the weekend of the 20th and 21st. I so far have announced 4 regents. Aaron Glazer,
The 21st of what month?
October.
Yes.
I apologize. Glazer, Jake the Devil himself Platt, Chris Vack, Jess Thompson, and I am proud to announce 2 more people today. The first is the big organizer in Boston, probably one of the first people I met when I traveled Competitive Thrones. Actually, the first tournament I ever traveled to was the Boston tournament, which is Nathaniel Dean, better known to us on the East Coast as Than. He's a longtime 1.0 player. He's built with us here in New York City for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. Than will be one of the regents that will be joining us. Yes.
Roy, you missed Than's most salient feature.
Jizz,
He
awesome
has-
mustache.
No, he has the most amazing mustache known to man.
Yes, he does.
He does have an amazing mustache. He's a sweetheart, one of my favorite Thrones players.
Yeah, he is an excellent person.
The other one is also an excellent person, and that is the founder of the Wars to Come. My heart is so full to be able to say this. Jesse Carpenter. Jesse Carpenter will be joining us as a regent as well. So I am super super happy. There we go, to have both of these gentlemen joining me as regents. That means that we have 2, 4, 6, 2 more to announce in the future. I'm working on trying to get those guys or ladies locked down before Gen Con, but we'll see. I may hold a spot open for whoever wins Gen Con, unless
Spoiler
it's
alert.
somebody else.
I'll win Gen Con. I'm turning down the Regency.
I don't think you have to worry about that, Roy.
I know. All right. The other thing is, you have it prepared. FFG gave Second Son spoilers, which we are graciously sharing with our Wars to Come brethren. We've never had spoilers before, because
They've never had.
they've never had.
We never had him.
We're on the regular list. We're on like with banter, like the real podcasts. So,
God damn.
damn. So, Ethan, do you have the card up on the stream?
Stall for 2 minutes.
Okay, stall in.
It's a Tyrell card, isn't it?
It
Wait
is
a minute.
card.
Spoilers.
So
I
if,
think the Tyrell
if-
card. can
Block
open-
off.
if
Who we block-
Ethan has the spoiler, is it your spoiler or is it our spoiler?
I sent it to him. I have it. All right. So I'm gonna
So
just read it
blocking
while
off
Ethan
Tia
gets
Jesse
it up.
with
So
the
it
card-
is. Oh, go ahead. Sandy, you get a point.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're blocking off CT and Jesse with the card image. That's where it's gonna go.
Awesome.
Great. I'll take
Okay.
that. I
So,
deserve that.
so it is a Tyrell card. It's a loyal Tyrell character called
It's up.
Scheming Septon. All right. The trait is the 7. It's a 2-cost Shadows character. intrigue, power, 2 strength, shadow 2, and has this challenges action. Draw 1 card and gain 2 gold. It's a challenges action again. Draw 1 card and gain 2 gold. Then place Scheming Septon on the top of your deck. Limit once per phase.
This card is good.
Busted.
This card is.
Did Tyrell need more ways to draw cards and gain gold?
Yes.
Did Tyrell need more 2-cost characters that they can use Breaking Ties with? Yeah.
Did
Tyrell
Did Tyrell need more than
ways to
7
trigger-
characters so they can use Faith Militant? Jeez.
Do they need
Did they
to?
need more play space so they could trigger
Remind
basic?
everyone on this podcast that Tyrell won no tournaments out of 3 this
Wow.
weekend.
Clearly that means Tyrell is bad. You were
Yes.
correct,
Wow,
Sandy.
yeah.
Well,
Thank God they took a
we
break.
have
Fourth
tournaments
video
and
about how to
four
beat
back,
Tyrell.
so-
You will find out that Tyrell is very easily targetable, and it's one of the reasons why it tends to do well but not win tournaments.
Sandy, can we discuss
Can't
this?
confirm.
Can we
It also needs to be.
can we discuss this after Euros?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, really.
The
Tyrell is-
combo is a whole separate issue. So.
Well, Tyrell is also a really good team play, right? Like if
If we're
six
talking
people
about
bring
yours, it's
Tyrell, they're just-
combination, Roy.
well,
Oh,
Fair,
Combination.
fair.
So let's think about the card. I don't quite know why this is a Shadows card because you don't need to have, it doesn't interact with Shadows at all. You can just marshal it and then trigger it in challenges. I really do not understand why.
So
this
it's like one
Unless
of
you
those
have cards
things.
that trigger off of it being in shadows. That's the
Yeah.
only reason.
So it's kind
well,
of
because
like
you can bring it out any random time to trigger Mace. That's
yeah.
what it shows.
So it's kind of
Yes.
like one of those things where you're like, oh, why would a Tyrell card do this? And then you're like, oh, it triggers Mace. Now I get it. The game
And
is
Old Town.
fair.
And Old Town. Triggers Mason Old
That's
Town. The
why.
2 things we need to trigger more.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Old Town. Well, I get the Old Town synergy, but I'm just saying specifically its ability doesn't have anything to do with Shadows. So yes, Shadows cards in Tyrell are just generally good. I played a lot of Mace. I understand, but
What is there an
yeah.
equivalent to Tunnels of the Red Keep? Because that's another reason.
I don't know. Maybe some other podcast has spoilers about that has Tunnels for the Red Keep. I don't know.
We will have our first spoilers ever next month.
There you go.
Oh.
Spoilers, Jesse.
We're
Come on.
finally a
Spoilers,
real
spoilers.
podcast, guys.
Finally gave Evan enough of the.
Yay!
gave
So
enough
what
of the
happened
handy
is Evan
face
got-
to-
What happens is Evan got confused because we were all on this podcast and was like, "Oh, we should give the Second Son spoilers," and then they sent it to the wrong place, and now Jesse's on the
Yeah,
site.
there we go. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Let
I
'em
bet
off.
we have a cooler spoiler than random Tyrell chud.
Random
I don't think we can guarantee that.
See more
We
play.
are
than-
we are known for our random Tyrell Chud spoilers. All right.
It's true.
And they're all so good. Like every time
Seems to
Terrell gets a
prefer-
random,
Beacon is not a good card. Let's be
Well,
real.
I don't
No,
know
we got
if you can-
Ramsey, right?
don't
We
know
got
cards.
Ramsey and we got Hightower, right? Not
Yeah,
the
Hightower Spy,
in Hightower, right? Yeah,
Hightower
which
Spy is
I
great.
loved and everyone else hated, and now
We
Roy's
got
like, "You
Leighton.
have to run 3 of every-"
Roy's, yeah. Roy's like, it wins me games.
Yeah.
Ooh, Leighton Hightower?
Yeah, we got
No.
Leighton.
I never.
Oh no, I meant Hightower Spy.
Hightower Spy.
You
Hightower
hated that card.
I did hate that card.
You got laid? You got Leighton?
I did get laid.
Nice.
So that's the spoilers, since it doesn't seem like anyone wants to discuss this amazing card.
It's
What's there to
boring.
discuss? Yeah, what's there to discuss?
Or fucking Tyrell-y things on a
Pure
fucking cheap
efficiency
body.
with shadows. Here's a new mechanic, but it's still pure efficient.
I'm not getting fooled into reviewing cards, guys.
So I give it a C.
Alejandro
plus.
taking a
I
moral
still will
stance on
never
these.
ever understand.
Can we move to the next segment?
To card reviews. But anyway, well, I'm waiting for Jesse because Jesse's big on talking about Euros. But we will talk about Euros. So Euros is this
Okay.
weekend. What do we think about this sort of weekend of good, honest thrones in America? What does
They
it have to
happen
tell us
again.
about Europe, about forthcoming Euros? How much did the wonderful thrones minds that we have here? How do you think that first player Heron Hall, which although is a rookie tournament doesn't give us the best data, and Kubla, how do we think that that's going to impact and shape what goes on in Euros, or act as sort of as a siren's call for what's going to happen?
I just want to
Sure,
shout out
we're-
everybody
play
at
combo
Kubla
errors.
to not that they stuck to the spirit of the ARL. I was sent 2 combo decks that work with Syd's extra restricted list as well as the Drown God list,
Just
and
say Dark Notch. What do you
and
mean Dark
nobody-
Notch? Just say Dark Notch.
nobody
Just
Dark
saying.
Darts didn't send me either of them actually,
Really?
Euros,
and
we're
nobody
big on-
played any of those lists. So good for everybody there. Thank you for making it solid weekend of Honest Thrones, even if I didn't play well.
You're
That's
welcome.
why you didn't play well.
Because I couldn't play combo. Is that it?
Yeah, no mid range for you.
There was a lot of mid range there.
How was Targ not mid range?
I think the Kubla field was. I actually think the Kubla field was amazing. I will go ahead and credit Syd real fast. Like, he didn't quite nip everything he probably should have, but like the field was diverse, except for there was a lot of Martel, but there was a lot of different Martel, and for the most part, like attrition, mid range, a little bit of rush, passive power was all represented pretty evenly.
Also, there were like 35 wars to come decks in various combinations.
Sure.
I mean, that's just.
But I just accept that.
Seven?
That's just
Yeah,
the branding.
I just accept that the game is now a 10 plot game. Like,
Yeah, is
never
World
mind
just the
that
most
one.
boring goddamn agenda that's ever existed?
You mean the
Man,
best
if,
agenda?
if only somebody had
Yeah.
said something about this before it came out, that it was going to become the default. It's weird.
Yeah, everyone knew it. It's just boring. It's just so boring.
All right,
That's what I
I'll
named
speak
after
on
it.
Euros if no
I know
one else
Sandy
will.
wants to say something about Euros, so go ahead.
Sandy, you go first. You go first, brother.
First of all, I think you guys underestimate the European meta and their commitment to diverse decks. I think they have a much more vigorous deck building community than North America. I'm not saying that just for my European fans, but look,
I agree with you. I agree with you, Sandy.
buy me drinks.
Sandy's not invited to any of the deck building groups, so he doesn't know. Continue.
Yeah, you guys. Maybe when you start winning tournaments. Okay. Was Barber in any of your deck building groups? No. Okay.
Barber didn't know what. Okay. Barber's deck is.
Wasn't Barber his own deck building group?
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
he
No,
fought.
Yeah,
Kevin
and it was a
Shannon,
deck from
the
start.
random deck on Kevin
Kevin
Shannon's
Shannon's
deck
random deck.
was Barber.
Anyway,
All right.
my
So
point is,
Kevin
No, no,
Shannon's
no, no.
garage
Right.
sale
I
of
actually
decks.
think if we don't see the Martel Greyjoy combo win Euros, we're going to see a totally new deck that none of us anticipate winning Euros.
okay.
That's my prediction.
More's to come.
All right. So
So your prediction is that we're
Maybe
going to
a
see
real
an unexpected new deck.
Yeah, I think it's a deck. I think it's a deck no one will predict if it's not Greyjoy. I'm taking the field or Martel Kraken.
all right. I would
Really,
love
uh, really
So
hedge
are
it
you
there.
saying that there will not be a wars to come deck that wins Euros?
I'm saying that there won't be a Martel
For
Wars
sure.
to come or Tyrell Wars to come or Targ Wars to come deck. It might
So
be.
Bear is
no.
still in it.
Yeah,
No,
Vera.
no.
I think Vera
Okay.
is part of the field. I think that deck is sufficiently new and innovative that it might just win.
All right. Can I go next?
Go ahead,
Can I
Jason.
Yes,
second?
go
All
ahead.
right. So second, I think that combo will make up 15 to 20% of the field. I think it'll be that big. I've already talked to several Euros who are taking it, who are sufficient not only deck builders but players. I do not think combo will win. I think it should win, but I don't think they have enough reps with it.
A lot
I
of
think
people are prepared
overall,
for it.
we will see diverse deck building, but it will not rise to the top because of just how the state of the game is. I believe a boring Tyrell deck will win it,
Boring Trello.
probably at the hands of, if I had to guess, I'd say Wama. I would
No.
say Wama wins Euros with boring
When,
Tyrell.
Wamo playing a boring Tyrell deck is like you playing fucking, I don't know, Greyjoy. Good
Wars to come,
stuff.
which he did at
I'd rather kill myself.
CT's
C-
craft.
at
Yeah,
CT's
craft.
tournament.
The most exciting thing besides Bamford winning Euros for me, or Buzz, would be Wama winning Euros. So I'm all for Wama winning.
Number
like,
one for
Euros.
me-
Only 3 heroes I still know.
Number one for me would be LGB, and then number
Yep,
two
Louise,
would
yep.
be
Oh,
number two would be
I forgot
Wama.
he's going.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
LGB will win melee for sure.
LGB
think
can't
LGB's
because
not
he's
gonna
playing
play
L5R.
melee.
He's
Yeah,
playing
not gonna play
L5R.
melee.
So he's dropping melee.
Oof.
Believe
Brutal.
me. LGB and I built the melee deck that I won with this past weekend. He would definitely win melee.
Barber
promise
says
you.
it won't be Wama. It'll be random friend of Wama who brought the same deck.
So here's the thing.
So Josh,
Ouch.
I don't want combo to win, so I'm always gonna pull for just who I think are the best players. Like, if a Reinhardt wins,
Dude,
I you know who I would love to win? I don't even know if he's going. If Leonard Paga goes, I fucking
my
love
God.
him too.
he just beat me yesterday.
He's good. He's
Yeah.
very
Let-
good.
Leonard and Hanzo and Hano Alonso are supposed to be going.
Okay, like I would love a control deck to win. I'm just not sure if control can make it through a combo
meta.
field, but Tyrell can. So
Control also really hates having reset canceled more than almost anything else.
sure. I would love to hear from the rest of the double cast what they think. And like I know that I was really excited to hear from Sandy because Sandy goes to Europe a lot. The next person I'm excited to hear from is Groff because he played in Europe for several years. Because I would love to get an insight into that because combo's big. I've talked to a few Euros who are definitely taking it. Like I don't know, is it good enough? Like is it like do we think it's good enough?
If Italians, the way I think Italians will show up with Force, they'll take combo and it'll be good.
But all the Italians besides Nico, right? Like Nico won't play it, right?
No.
Nico, he's the only one in the Italian group that I've seen that he disregards combo.
Okay.
Groth,
I think he
have you-
disregards because he
Nico.
won't play it, not that he disregards that it's good.
Have you played with the Italians? Like, have you played in Italy?
Yeah, I played in Italy.
So I would like to say, first of all, that I met Groth at the best tournament of all time, which was Flea Bottom Fracas, and he's probably the American who has seen more of Europe than me. So he's got some credibility when he talks about European metas.
Absolutely.
The Italians were all over because the Discord chat's the one that brought up this Cersei deck first. That's the one we created. The Italians took it and they just completely stomped their field, which I think next to Spain, they're one of the hardest because it's just how many Italians play the game. There's a lot of them. And then they're
It's
also
super
the ones,
condensed, right? Like their metas
Very.
are huge, right?
Yep, very condensed. And I mean, there's Italians all over Europe too that aren't just playing in Italy. They go to school somewhere else and they're playing like Prague. There's a lot of Italians I met in Prague that were just good. Marco Guida, you know Marco.
Yeah.
Like,
Those Marco.
that dude is just ridiculously good. Like so, I mean, I personally will say that I think a Martell Wars to come will be the winner. I have a lot of faith in that. But I think there's going to be that Baratheon Rose. I mean, I had people at the Prague
That's
just
a good
saying how
pick.
ridiculous that was going. Hano's song, Tyrell Rush, just stupid crazy. And Hano's a great deck builder. And then, of course, that Tyrell Rush that won, they said that thing went off turn 2 with just 8 knights. And people just weren't running resets, I guess. So it just depends on people doing that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I mean, that 73 like regional Prague, I think people need to look at that because a lot like Reinhardt was there, Gabriel was there, who apparently has a nasty Targ Brotherhood deck. So like, there's gonna be those like hit pocket decks that are gonna come out, and the Euros play like Jesse said, the Euros play so much differently. Me and Sandy know, and they see the game where we see it, not to poke fun at like mid range where we see it 1 or 2 dimensional. They see it 3 or 4, and they can hit you left, right, uppercut, and you're just like, what just happened?
Okay. So the next person I'd like to hear from, like in pretty much direct correlation to that, is Glazer.
So
What do you think is going to come out of Euros? Because I think you have a great mind on the game. Like anytime I ever have a question on the game, I always go to you first.
So
And I'm curious.
I'm of two minds. I think it's either straight up Rush. Like I could just see. I think the meta is just really set for Rush right now. Like all the everything that Martell does is vulnerable to Rush. Everything that Greyjoy does, unless they get lucky, is vulnerable to Rush. Terrell is really vulnerable to Rush. So it's Rush or it's a Wars to come that has the right counters to Rush.
Yep.
Which I think is, I mean, that could be any of like 4 houses, right? But they have to build specifically with Rush in mind. Like a mid-range deck that does win will be built to answer Rush.
Their plot deck needs to answer Rush.
Yeah, exactly. But if not, it's just like something fast will just like, you'll turn around like half a metal, play something quick, and like 2 or 3 people will sneak in, and that's that.
All right. CT, what do you think?
I think combo or Targ Wars to come because, like Glazer said, I can see Targ just getting that flexibility to answer Rush. And they've got the burn anyway, so they're probably better positioned as far as the mid-range decks go. But like, I guess I kind of agree with you. I feel like the combo percentage is probably like 15-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we know how combo is. Like, it's gonna win or it's not gonna win. So, I guess if combo doesn't prevail the day, I could see just like a solid all around Targ Wars build taking it down. Like, I guess it depends on how much Tyrell is there and how much Targ is there and how much they butt heads.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If Tyrell and Targ go head on head, like, you're not gonna see one of them's gonna be a winner, but you're not gonna see him. So other decks will slide on by.
All right. Alejandro.
I think it's gonna be combo. Like if 15% of the field's taking it, they're taking the tournament down too.
Is that how many? Is that how much you personally think?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no special insight there, but yeah, I mean, if that's what people who know are predicting, then combo's taking it.
I personally know 4 people who are taking it.
Which I don't want to ask you which. Let's just
No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that for sure.
have it. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, of course.
I'll tell you
I'm not
after.
going. I'm not going. What do I care? So
So who still has to answer? Roy.
So I agree with people who think that if combo will warp the meta if it's there, but there's just like a part of me that feels like Europe is gonna blink. Like that this is the moment where if Europe is gonna play combo, that they're gonna do it. And I think that more Europeans are gonna blink about playing pure combo, like OTK, Ladies, or Brienne, or Hyper
That's
Viper
what I'm talking about.
combo.
Absolutely.
They're gonna blink and they're gonna instead go for Rush, and they're gonna play really, really fast Rush. That is, for all intents and purposes, just as obnoxious to play against as Plat style Ladies Rush, but is not as hard on the like lockdown synergy and lack of interaction. So I think we're gonna see a lot of Rush. And
So
I
when
think
you say that, it like technically scares me about combo because I think like, and me included, I think there's a lot of like very decent players out there, like Buzz and people like that who are control players who hate Rush, right? Like who will refuse to play Rush. So then the next best choice is combo. They'll play combo over Rush.
Yeah.
But that's me personally. Like if I have to choose, I would play combo over Rush because it's more skill intensive. It takes more, right?
So
but I think though. Oh, go ahead.
What
Glazer.
happened? What happened to Targ Rush? Like, why did that go away? Because like
it shouldn't have. It should not
That
have.
is not.
Like,
No,
I think
Reinhardt has one.
I think we all need to start seriously thinking about that again, right? Like that Targ Rush that also has the control elements that doesn't have to win on turn 2.
I never
Reinhardt
forgot.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
Reinhardt's
should.
already there.
Yeah, it should ultimately just be the best deck right now, right? Like if what we're saying is Rush has this great matchup with so many of the meta decks,
Apparently,
and Targ play long game control.
Yep.
Like that.
Apparently
That
Jiqui-
seems like where to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
Jiqui
a-
apparently
there's a
pushes it
crossing
over.
deck Jiqui that I think might be pretty good,
Yeah.
but it requires you to like not be shitty and like know when to draw cards and when to throw them away.
Sure. That makes
So-
sense.
Jiqui apparently gives you that 1 or 2 extra that power that's so just it's like Faith Milton. You just like
I know exactly
Yeah,
what you mean.
So
man.
I
With
think
forward, you must go back. You can actually fill up your hand Jiqui for 5 cards with your double power from whatever. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Someone should build that deck.
So I do have one more thing I want to add here, though, is I do think I have a lot more faith in non-combo Tyrell than I think some people here do overall, because non-rush. I'm talking about like a mid-range to stally, like a flexible build that's something like Wars or Summer that that a lot of the Europeans are winning, like the one that took down Dockside. Because I think
Terrell Summer is the best deck in the game. So
I think
I'm with you.
I think what it does. I mean, it has trouble with like lockdown combo, but it has a good shot against Rush, particularly if you're good and you've played your outs and you understand how to play the reset game. And a Bitter Bridge that's running 2 resets also can handle Rush decks just fine. So I feel like people, and Targ is very easily targetable by Tyrell. So I feel like if a person playing a Tyrell deck that has the reps against Rush and is playing cards in their draw deck that target Targ, they'll run the field. But it will be a nightmare. The problem is playing Tyrell mirrors that are non-rush mirrors are just as nightmarish as playing Targ, and just as variance heavy as playing Targ mirrors, so that they may keep each other in check. Like if a lot of Tyrell just runs into other Tyrell, who
I
the
also
fuck knows
feel-
what's going to happen.
I feel like
But-
a lot of Tyrell has just one bad matchup, and then you better hope the meta doesn't do that bad matchup.
It's targetable. Like Tyrell is really, really targetable. Like if you want to beat Tyrell, it's probably the easiest faction to be like,
Rare.
I'm gonna beat Tyrell.
Have you not met Stark and like?
Stark, Greyjoy running 2 barring. Like there's lots of things you can do to beat them.
So
Stark
we've
beat up Tyrell at Dockside. Stark
Yeah.
just ate Tyrell,
Yeah.
and
So
I
we've
was
heard-
surprised.
we've heard from several people. I'd love to hear from Schoenthal here. What do you think, Chris?
My answer is pretty similar to Alejandro's. I think if there's that much combo, it's gonna be good. And I haven't talked to any Euros, so I actually don't know anything about what anybody's gonna be playing. But it feels like there's got to be something out there. Maybe it's the Drowned God thing. Maybe it's some more standard combo. I don't know, but feels like it's gonna be something degenerate.
Gotcha. Okay.
If something degenerate happens, how long does it take for them to fix it? Like,
Well, I mean,
okay,
they haven't
let
fixed
me
ladies yet, right?
let me ask this question that I want to ask. If something degenerate wins, does it still exist by Gen Con?
Absolutely.
I think
By
if
Gen Con, I don't think so.
if an
Wins
OTK
Euros,
deck
no.
wins Euros, then we'll get another restricted list pretty quickly. I think
Why-
if Rush wins, it won't.
Why
Yeah.
would I have? Why would I have faith in anything being updated by Gen Con?
Because Danny was pretty quick after Canadian
Yeah, they did.
Nationals.
Yeah.
But
When it finally
supposedly
won.
that had already been in the works.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rumor has been that was in the works for a long time.
Well, FFG
And-
is so
Hey,
tight-lipped, we have no
Canadian
idea.
Nationals this
so.
year?
Then why can't if everybody knows that the combo is a problem, still like it could be in the works already too, right?
We hope.
Fingers crossed.
But
I know
Valentine-
people
The pro-
email
the
Danny
problem
all
is
the
that if
time
it's
with
really-
combo lists. I know
The problem
Naj
is that
sends
if
them
it's
to them.
really that far behind, they're still gonna miss things.
Dude,
Because if, we
anytime
hit, if the next one hits the ladies combo, but
It
doesn't hit
misses
the Drowned
Drowned
God
God.
shit, then we're still there for Gen Con. Like,
Dude, legitimately, anytime anyone brings up combo at this point in the game, I'm legitimately like fucking Saw Gerrera and goddamn Rogue One. Save the rebellion, save the
Save
dream.
the-
Like, my God,
Combo
dude.
exists at Gen Con, I'm taking it. I'm bringing it.
Like, I hope so, Alejandro. I truly do, brother. Like, I want it to be a true restricted list. Really, what I want is a draw cap, which like that's a whole other episode. But like,
Listen to the white book in 2 weeks.
correct. Like, I just like. I don't know. I like. There's nothing that like guarantees me that they'll do it. Like, even if it's not, even if it doesn't take down Euros, if it finishes like, say if it finishes like we did at Worlds last year with Viper, like they didn't do anything. Like, say it just crushes the Swiss, but it doesn't take down the tournament. Should there be a restricted list? I think there should.
6 months ago.
So I mean, I don't know.
Blazer's
We'll see.
angrily muttering. in the
Well,
back.
and this is the moment that Sandy took to eat, and so he is a polite. You know,
it's
we have
nice that we don't have to hear combos fine, get better noobs.
I mean, to be fair though, there is a point though. Like,
There's not. You're wrong.
okay,
There's not a
I'm
point.
okay to
That's
be wrong, but I'm gonna say my fucking point, Glazer. All right, which is
Put it out.
there is a lot of fucking complaining about combo in this community, and just fucking play around it. Like if you're so afraid of combo, bring a deck that beats combo. Like if
God,
that's
yeah.
like what keeps
But
you
If
up,
you're so
it-
afraid of
No, no,
combo,
just-
just
I have a
don't
question
have fun.
for you. Like,
Your
just-
video about like ways to beat combo doesn't beat all the combos though. Is the
I
problem?
don't to beat all the combos, but like you, just like any deck that I bring doesn't beat literally every other deck. Like but if
First of all, since we're bringing it up, I do want to prop both of your videos. I think they're amazing for the meta. I think staying current on the meta and current content is great for the game, and I commend you for it. First of all,
Yeah, no, those
I-
videos are sweet.
I loved it. I loved it.
Oh, you made a video?
He made two videos. He made two videos.
when,
all right.
when Alec goes to Boston on Friday, I'm making a third video.
Ooh. Do we
All
get, can we have an
Sandy.
exclusive about what the topic is?
It's Tyrell.
of course it is.
It's one
How
of
to play Tyrell all the time.
the- yeah.
Sandy, what were you saying about combo, brother?
Well, you noob. No, I do think I agree with Roy in that like the problem is not that combo is unbeatable. The problem is that the answers to combo make you weak to other things, and nobody
Yeah.
wants to that trade-off. They're like, oh, I'll just trust people not to play combo. It's like I will not wear this bulletproof vest that slows me down in this race because I don't think anyone's gonna bring a gun and shoot.
To a race.
That's a
To a race. No one
surprisingly
should bring a gun to a race.
That's an actually surprisingly apt metaphor, Sandy.
It's very
yes, that was
What
like the
combo
most
does that?
insightful thing you said all night.
So like I wholeheartedly with you. 100% of decks I build them, and then first of all, everyone's like, "Well, this is a piece of shit." But then after that, they're like, "Does this beat combo?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "We should put in these cards," and I'm like, "But they're a lot less cool." They're a lot less cool. So like, you should play cards that just beat combo. I just refuse to. But you are correct, Sandy. You are wholeheartedly correct.
Yep.
I agree with you.
So question
Also, I
then.
found this Jimmy John's, and this is an amazing find. I just found Jimmy John's kitchen.
It's not yours?
Are you getting a
Is that
fucking
yours?
paycheck from Jimmy John's to interrupt this shit? with
And
that?
Amazon. Well, you always get a paycheck from Amazon. So our
Well, right.
sponsors,
No, the
tonight's
Jimmy John's
crossover
is
episode.
not wearing his bulletproof vest to Jimmy John's. Is what he's saying.
Okay, so if we take down combo, but then we have to answer the real problem, and that's these
Rush.
fucking Lanny green site decks.
Are you sure it's not Martel to go for, or what's the card someone always tells? It's those fucking cards that are the real problem. Can we restrict that
No.
card?
No.
Yeah.
Everyone on Earth but CT and Sandy would be fine if someone always tells just went away forever.
I agree. I agree with you.
Like,
I
I
agree with you.
got it.
Cancel. I just think it should be another plot. I think it should be outwit.
Sure, but it's not. Someone always tells exists. We don't have to theory craft what it could be. It's here.
Let me know when Martel wins a tournament, okay?
It.
You did. We got Aaron right here.
Yeah, it did.
Coffee is here, buddy.
You just weren't there.
Last Saturday.
That
yeah.
doesn't count.
All right, Sandy gets
Classic
it.
Sandy
guy
argumentation. That's
gets
when we
it.
know it's time to move on from Sandy's point.
Can-
He's
This
just-
guy
Can we
gets
get
it.
to Aaron's list of cards that are good?
Top 5 one costers. I'm not ranking.
Are
I'm
we
not
really
ranking.
doing this?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're doing
okay,
it.
so-
What?
Can we not?
What is this?
A little background. I asked a question on Second Sons about what on the Facebook page, which you should like and
I did. I followed it.
CT doesn't. Fuck that guy.
about what the best 2-cost characters were and what your favorite 2-cost characters were. We're gonna do this round robin quick style where if you agree that it should be in the top 10, then you don't say anything and you shut up. And if you disagree, you better have a replacement for what card is better that we haven't already named. Is that fair? Is that
Alright, so we want to just do 2 costers and skip 1 costers?
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's skip.
Aren't there
one.
only 2 1-costers that aren't
We
reducers?
all
There
know
are
Guarding Caretaker
5.
is the best one.
There are
cost
5
there.
1-costers that are not reducers. I'm gonna go on mute so I can
Card caretaker.
but you guys talk about this.
No,
shit.
we're only doing 2 costers though, right?
Costers, yeah. 10. Dorea.
No, not 10. Not 10.
It's fine. If they're all
Start
as good as
with one.
Durea, this will
Start
move
with-
quickly.
For
Durea
some-
is amazing.
Dorea is amazing. 9. Bastard Daughter.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
8.
Okay.
Masande.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yep.
7. Acklord of the Waves.
No. Fuck
Wait,
ground cards.
Does
Okay.
Black Ears count as a 2-coster or a 4-coster?
4
I wonder.
Or cost. It's
Okay.
printed cost. We should
Oh.
make
We're,
that.
we're talking about good cards.
Then I don't. Shut your goddamn mouth.
Like Hot Pie.
Ethan's back on mute.
Is Hot Pie next?
Next is
Tom and
High
Baratheon,
Guard.
obviously, right?
Next, 6. Highguard and Courtier.
Yes. I'm just
5.
saying, when Hot Pie got spoiled, Aaron Glazer was so high on Hot Pie.
It's true.
I really was 100% accurate. I thought
You were
that was
so
that was
high on
really
that
good. I was
I'm
wrong,
being
yeah.
honest, like, because I feel like we're getting into like weird territory. Is I'm gonna be honest with you, because I am not kidding. I'm not just being a dick. Is Burnman not this high on this list?
Burnman's not on this list. You think what is Burnman better than of these?
It is literally the most consistent 2-drop since the beginning of the game.
It's better than High Guard and Courtier.
We're talking current meta.
No,
We're talking
it's
current
definitely not
meta.
better than High Garden Courtier, but
It's
like
100% better than Kyrie.
it's
So the
better-
problem is,
When First Snow was good, it was
Yeah.
probably the best. It's
sure,
not
but we're
that
talking
much
about
anymore.
where it is
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
right?
Burnman
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Vacuum, no.
I'm agreeing
saying-
with you, Aaron.
Here's the thing,
I'm agreeing with you.
Lannister is not good. Burnman is still very good.
in a vacuum, I don't think it's the top 10.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, it's not better than Dorea Sand right now. It's not better than the Bastard Daughter right now.
If
Yeah, I
if
agree.
Birdman was in any other deck, was in any other faction, it would not see play.
I wouldn't play it over
Shadows.
Dorea.
Also, just the sheer existence of shadows now devalues Burnman excessively.
It's time for me to get off the cast, boys.
We talked bad about Klansman. He's done. All
God
right, 6
damn.
is the Courtier.
We
5
talk
is
bad
the
about Klansman every episode.
Jesse was just gonna go and cuddle with his like full size carbon
okay,
cutout of
wait.
Bohan, and it'll be fine.
Like the card we just spoiled tonight's automatically better than Courtier, right? Because you can still just marshal it for 2.
I think I'd rather have the Courtier. The stand is real good.
Yeah.
Like, cause
Oh no.
but-
I'm thinking of the one with no game text. Never mind.
The one
no.
strength is so brutal right now, though.
How
It-
good?
especially
How
with
good is
Tyrant.
I had
this
somebody
stand?
burn one of those down on the first turn
in
for me.
any burn that goes to that, I'm
You
kind
won
of
that
happy.
game anyways.
I blood of the
Still,
dragon a lot
like,
of those.
If you have to specifically
Blood of the
burn
Dragon
Knight just
just
for one, I'm
kills
okay
them
with
all.
that.
How good is the stand with Stannis' cavalry just running wild out there? What are you standing?
He's clearly gone off the deep end.
I'm glad this segment hasn't degenerated at all.
This
5.
segment was degenerated.
All right,
Stuff.
top
Roy doesn't
5.
even know how to
guys.
talk anymore.
Top
5 is new
You're
Arya.
Yeah,
Gotta be
top
Chrono
5.
Vastothrak, right?
5 is new Arya.
I like this
Sure.
guy.
Over Chrono.
Face-
Jeez.
4 is the shipwright.
Ooh.
Yep.
I'll take that
Fuck
one.
card.
I'm in.
Yeah. Fuck that
I'm
card.
3
For
is
sure.
the Shadow City Bastard.
Nah,
Only
that
3?
card's not good. I didn't play that card in my Martel deck. That card's bad.
That's why it's 3 and not 1. If
2 is Greenblood Trader, right?
1 is Greenblood
Yep.
Trader, 2
Yeah.
is the Old Town Informer.
Wait,
All right. You missed a
it's-
big one. Definitely.
is Jorah Mormont
My
not on
card-
this
Or it's
fucking
not
list?
on this list.
And
What is
These are
And-
ones that aren't on this list, and I don't understand.
I don't
Devin
understand.
Seaworth?
The
Devin
Night's
Seaworth
Watch
is insane.
Tricon isn't on this list either.
Yeah,
Wait,
nice watch check. So
Night's
wait,
Watch Tricon was the hardest cut.
Wait,
That's what
no.
Tricon
Why is Devin Seaworth not on this
Yeah,
list? I'm
Devin
not kidding.
Seaworth
I'm not
is
being
awesome.
biased.
or
Let me-
Viserion,
let me-
who's still really good.
Reed,
Is he on
let
this
me-
list?
Viserion does not belong on this list. You're wrong. Let me list the ones that almost made it and didn't. Shadow Tower Mason, Moran,
Popeye.
House Dane Escort,
Hot Pie.
Friedman, Edric, Hot Pie,
Hot Pie.
Devin, Hot Pie. Continue.
But
Dorea,
Ray
Devin-
Pike.
Devin should have been on
Hell
the
yeah.
list.
I don't think Devin is better than Dorea Sand.
Castle Black
Dorea
Mason
Sand's
should have been on the list. Castle Black Mason is a busted card.
Yeah,
Even
it's
when
in
Night's
Shadow-
Watch is
I
not
think-
super in the meta, it is still a bust. In a vacuum, it is
Dude,
one of
I
the
don't
most
think that's not the
overpushed
card.
cards in the game.
Devin
It's
Seaworth
the
is a Devin
Shadow
Seaworth
Tower
is a
Mason.
top 3 character in House Baratheon right now at
The
2
problem is
costs.
the problem is that Devin Seaworth isn't a 2-cost character.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's
Oh, yeah.
printed cost. All right.
Someone doesn't run favors from the crown. Idiot! Idiot!
why?
To be fair, even the people you've convinced that the bear deck is good still don't run favors from the crown because that card is
One of
not
them.
good.
I read one of them.
I
No.
read
Yeah.
one of it, and it should probably just be a fucking.
Nah, dude, you gotta get your Iron Bank online, T1 boys. You gotta get it online.
All right, so beyond Jesse's crazy Barra and
No, no,
Klansman
okay.
fixation,
Jorah Mormont.
Jesse
I
actually
don't-
did
I
well
don't
with the Barra deck, so we have to
I-
listen to him about it.
no, we don't.
I want to hear about Jorah. Why isn't Jorah top 10? I
I
don't
don't-
understand.
I don't think.
I want to hear
we're-
about Patchface.
Viserion.
I want to hear about Lancel Lannister.
Can we do one
Sandy.
at a time, fuckers?
Sandy, do you think Jorah should
I want to
be
hear
on
about
the
Hot
list?
Pie.
We did so well up until
Doesn't
He
Tommen
yelled-
cost
he
2?
yelled
Hang on,
out-
no, seriously. I want to hear about this
For
from
on.
Sandy and
Blowing up
Alejandro.
this segment is a real pleasure of mine, so I'm.
So
I'm enjoying it.
Sandy and Alejandro, who are both good Tark players, I actually want to hear you. Do you think Jorah should be on this list? Because I do. I think he's the most
Jorah's really
efficient.
fucking good. Yeah.
He's not the most efficient Targ card. I think Nascendi is the most efficient Targ card.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, yeah,
So
I think Jorah and Quaith. Quaith is so fucking good.
Quaith is amazing.
Wraith is really
Like-
good.
Also, wait. So you haven't given your number 1 yet. So
Green Blood Trader.
let's see. Is it going to be left or is it going to be right? Which one did you put on the list?
Wrong meta. Come on.
God damn
Woo,
it, Jesse.
is it that time already? Let's go!
all right, it was really great having you all here on Ethan's channel. You can find Ethan on YouTube at Starting next week.
Boy, someone talks about Burnman, then we start talking about left to right. I'm getting hot as shit in here. God damn.
I stay on stream and just talk shit to people.
Mama,
Hey.
if it was a Friday or a Saturday, we could do that. But sadly, it is a weeknight.
Man,
so.
we need to do another one of those Friday night podcasts. That was
We
great.
don't need you to talk shit, Roy. We can keep going.
I have to go to work. So.
Yeah, so
does
do
my-
I. In,
You know, Roy is full of
let's
shit.
see,
As
I
a
have
teacher,
4 hours till
no
my
one's
bedtime.
teaching
so-
anything. No one's teaching anything this
I
time
have
of
to
year.
drag
Roy,
a bunch of students to their final project. Sometimes
You know what? You know what's not open at 8 a.m. in my industry? Bars. Bars are not open at 8 a.m. So it's great. First of all, your top 10 list was shit, Glazer.
This is why it was rejected Second Sons and
No.
rejected topic.
For real though, Jesse, if you feel like Aaron's top 10 list was shit, you should make your own top 10 two-cost characters and do it on your own fucking podcast.
Hey, can we do the
I
top
love
10?
it.
Can we do
I
the top
love
10
that Sandy-
A-costers real quick?
I love that Sandy agrees with me on every two cost I talk about. Then he's like, "Well, no, you talking shit about the Second Sons? Fuck you."
I don't think Jorah's better than Dorea or a bastard daughter. I just don't.
Jorah's definitely better than Doria. I think you mean Missandei.
No, Dorea Sand.
Then he's on the list.
Dorea
That's
Sand.
separate.
Missandei is
higher
on the
up.
list. Dorea Sand just keeps winning me games. Like she's.
Alright. So,
Well,
is that
again? She's not in CT stack.
all we have for this week?
I think it is. So, Sandy, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Ethan, you're gonna have to reshuffle when people drop off the Skype. But I'd be totally down. I've got literally a half pint of fucking scotch to finish, and a lot of shit talking to do.
So this is for those Wars to Come Patreon people. You can cut. You can
Stealing my
PM
idea.
You can PM one of us. Come on to the after hours. We can talk some shit, play some Thrones, talk some games. We'll be on the
That sounds
Skype call.
great.
We'll add you. Come on. So
How much do I have to pledge for that?
I'm gonna do.
$1, like nothing, like.
Oh,
Just literally message
I'm
Jesse
gonna
and
do
say you're in the
my,
Patreon.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
usual
I'm not gonna
attempt to
fucking
end this
verify.
episode. La 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 la. Hello. All right. So
Roy, no one cares what you're saying. Suck it up.
I do.
Fuck
I
yourself.
do.
I care.
I
all right,
do.
So
Because we need to sign off this thing so I can edit it.
it is the end of the episode. This episode was, until Aaron's terrible segment started, a very, very good episode of.
It was
Sons
fine until
and
Roy's terrible
an
intro, but
excellent
okay.
episode of Wars to Come. Please
Wait, why is
Wow.
yours absolutely excellent? Yours was very good.
join us, the Second Sons, in our next episode. Which
We'll all
will-
be here.
We will.
Which we're doing the top 10
Tuesday,
three costers.
June
And I'm just gonna
12th.
do it over the entire time Roy talks. Guaranteed.
Quentin, baby.
All right,
Brother.
Schoenthal. What do you have going on the next week? You got anything good going on?
Not the next week. I got Portland in 2 weeks, so that'll be sweet.
Very cool. Very cool. What about you, Alejandro? You got anything cool going on the next week?
I'm gonna be in Portland too.
There we go, baby. There we go. Sandy, you got anything cool going on?
Getting drunk with me.
Yeah, I'm drinking with Glazer next week, which I will probably post on the Facebook group. Like, I'll probably get banned from the Facebook group for live streaming me and Glazer.
Oh,
Wait, no. What about JT? What about
Oh, yeah, what happened?
What's
Oh,
JT
that's
doing?
2 weeks.
Uh,
That's 2 weeks.
So that is June like 5th,
Yeah,
I want to
it-
say. So it's like the following week.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
But
That
I
was,
will-
by
I
the way,
will-
Dark
June
Nudge
5th is
really
a
wanted that.
Tuesday, by the way. Sandy.
Wait. Dark Nudge really wanted this to be Roy's bachelor party, and I was like, I don't think you get Roy.
I think once I send you guys pictures of what's gonna happen when me and Dark Knight are together in Orlando, you're gonna want to be there.
I don't
I-
think JT's involved in
You guys
that
get
though. That's something
soy?
different.
That's what really turns Roy on.
Sandy, always know wherever you're at, I want to be there. Always know.
But I may, instead of going to, I want to pimp Tom's tournament since he's not here. But instead of going to Portland, I may go to where somewhere
This
in
is Tom McKenzie, right? Not Malucci.
No, it's Malucci. There's a tournament in Massachusetts or Rhode Island or somewhere. I don't know. I'm flying into Providence, possibly. Who knows?
You're just
He does
drinking
have a
with
regional.
Tom, and you're trying to say it's a tournament, aren't you?
Shut up, man.
Tom does have a regional.
Hey,
I don't
Sandy.
think it was before dance, but I thought it was after dance. But it
Sandy,
could be before dance.
Send me the dates. There might be some bars in the area. I could be convinced to go.
When are you coming to Brooklyn, Jesse?
We're still planning it out. I've signed up a few people in Chicago, so I'm pretty busy right now. But I will be in Brooklyn very soon. But he has promised me that when I come to Brooklyn, you will be there. So he will make sure before he flies me out. So, Groth, what do you have going on next week, brother?
Are you boys going to Tulsa?
I could be convinced. I could be convinced.
I don't know.
Eric
man.
Groth, tell me,
Kansas.
Eric Groth, tell me you're going to Tulsa. Tell me you're going to Tulsa right now.
I have a.
I'm going.
All right, I'm going.
I have a free place to stay.
All right, let's go fucking crash Tulsa.
All right.
In.
Glazer, you got anything cool going on next week?
Yeah, man,
That's a
I'm
great
drinking with
idea.
Sandy.
You're drinking.
Drinking with Sandy. Ethan, what do you got going on, brother?
Just getting ready for the Ohio Regional.
Very cool. CT.
I guess I'm crashing Tulsa.
Very nice. Roy.
You should come to Dance with Dragons, which is inconveniently the same weekend as Jesse's regional, June 23rd. So if you are on the East Coast, you should definitely do your best to come to the third Dance with Dragons. And yeah, join and win it, and join the luminaries such as former White Book host Patrick Haynes. Joe, like Alex Black, I will die with my card design Mirando, the previous two champions of Dance with Dragons. So it'll be a great time.
If not, you should come to the White Squirrel Classic. It's our first one.
White Squirrel.
So it sounds like a classic already. An instant classic, even.
I read in a book somewhere all traditions are invented. So just Jesse's
Do not do what I'm doing that weekend, which is randomly spending a weekend in Vegas because I'm an idiot.
Yes.
All
All right.
the wrong month. Oh man.
So, so the same weekend, if you're on the East Coast or if you're near a airport, go to Dance with Dragons. It'll be amazing. If you're in the Midwest, you want to drive to Olney, it will be amazing as well. It will be the first annual White Squirrel Classic. It'll be great. So the next week,
How is this podcast still fucking happening? I've been staring at my phone.
I tried to end it a while
minutes.
ago, Glazer, but remember when you talked over me trying to end the episode?
Why are you still talking, Roy? Jesus Christ.
So the next week, I am doing nothing, but I might go to Tulsa. I'm doing a lot of work. I might be going to Tulsa to play in a tournament.
Why don't you come to New York and drink with me and Sandy?
Give me a few years. I'll come to New York to drink with you and Sandy, hopefully full time. So, I think that is it. Thank you so much for joining us on the Second Sons, which have been unbelievable co-hosts here. Roy Hisler and a great episode. And I hope you join us next week on The Wars to Come.
We love you.
Bye, everybody.